Hello and good evening, and welcome to another Wednesday Night Magic with Team Instant Speed here on Speed Gaming. I'm Clifford. We're joined tonight by Team Instant Speed, Sakura Tsubasa, X-Water, Skybills, and LinkDead. Before we get started tonight, everybody's going to, introduce themselves and talk about the decks they're going to play tonight as we're running some more standard tonight. So I guess to lead us off, let's start with you, LinkDead. What are you running tonight?
Hi, I'm LinkDead. I usually play Mario games, but tonight I'm going to be playing some Magic using the Sultai build. Basically, tries to grind out your opponents using card advantage, like Vivian Reed and Fine and Finality. And yeah, it's pretty strong and I like it. So that's why I'm playing it.
That's good. Awesome. Glad you're liking playing it. And I guess next we'll go to Sakura. How are you?
I am good. My name is Sakura. I am a speedrunner of various games. But tonight I'm going to be playing my red, what I like to call my red weenie deck, because it uses really low costing spells. But it's a burn deck, so basically the deck is mono red, and it goes right for their health points or whatever will make them weak. It uses a card ability called Spectacle, where if somebody takes damage, then I can use a lower costing spell on my card. And it's actually pretty cool. I enjoy it. It makes for really quick games when you're doing your dailies.
Fair enough. Next up, we have Skybills. How are you tonight, Sky?
Good. I'm doing well. I'm Skybills. I speedrun a variety of games, including the Super Mario series and Castlevania. And I also do a lot of Zelda 1 Randomizer. And tonight, I'm going to be using a Gruul deck with a slight splash of black for that oh-so-powerful Fine Finality combo. And the purpose of the deck is to be able to crank out really big creatures really quickly, meaning that we can get out the notorious 5/4 Steel Leaf Champion possibly by turn 2, which is ridiculous, especially if I go first and all the land is where it needs to be. It also runs as a finisher Ghalta, Primal Hunter, and I love to be able to use my card Thud to be able to attack with Ghalta and then just Thud straight into my opponent for a pretty quick lethal.
That is a pretty cool combo. That should be fun to watch. And last but not least, we have X-Water. X-Water, probably not going to be playing tonight, but will be joining me here in commentary. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, Clifford, and I'm excited to throw down some good commentary with you. I do have a deck ready in case I am needed to play, but it's a standard Dimir Surveil deck, so builds off of the Surveil mechanic, which is essentially lets you look at the top couple of cards of your library based on the number it gives you, and then you put them either back on the top in any order or into your graveyard. So along with that and some hand discard business, plus some counter spells, the whole goal of this deck is to just lock down the opponent, empty their hand, get them into a point where they can't respond, and then at that point you just beat them down with a couple of small little dudes or get one of those big flyers out and finish the job. So yeah, typically I do stream speedruns as well as some Mario Maker and some other variety type content, but yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad we got this chance to exhibit some sweet Magic action on the front page tonight.
Should be fun times. So, while we get everybody out of here to get ready for the games, what is speed gaming doing with Magic? Like, it's not a speed run, but at the same time, lots of people who speed run play Magic, and so here we are trying to showcase some of that. Maybe you don't even know what Magic is. So to tell you a little bit about it, it's a trading card game that's been around for over 25 years now. It's just forever.
Yeah, wow.
Now I feel old.
It was what, 90, 91, 92 that it first came out. So it's crazy. There are two basic types of cards. There are lands and non-land cards. The players need to have lands to make mana to cast their spells. Any non-land card is a spell, and it has a mana cost associated with it. You have to spend that much mana to play the cards. There are creatures that stick around on the board and attack your opponent, have abilities. Artifacts that don't have any color associated with them. They just get to sit there and also have cool abilities. Enchantments, which are kind of like artifacts, but not. They also just are permanents that sit on the board. Then there are also like non-permanent cards, like instants and sorceries, that are just one-time effects. You cast them, they do what they're supposed to do, and then they disappear, go into the graveyard. Sorceries you can only activate at specific times on your turn, and instants you can pretty much activate anytime you want. You can cast them whenever you'd like, that when you have priority. That's a pretty basic rundown of the game.
Yeah, I think you hit pretty much everything.
Anything to add here?
Yeah, the general goal, I'd say, your creatures can attack and all that stuff, and you have spells that sometimes deal damage. The way you win a game of Magic is by getting your opponent's HP to 0. Funny how video games work like that, right?
Oh yeah, I probably should have mentioned, the goal of the game. That would probably help.
So yeah, each player will start with 20 life points or hit points or whatever you want to call it, and there's things that'll gain life, things that'll lose life, and basically whichever player gets the other player down to 20 first, or whichever player manages to draw all of the cards in their deck first will lose. So if you draw all of the cards in your deck, you lose the game. If you lose all your life, you lose the game, and that's about it.
Yeah, there are some cards that say, you lose the game, but they're few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we're getting started here, though.
So yeah, starting up, we have Sakura Tsubasa with her red burn deck against Skybilz with her green, somewhat mid-range deck. So who do you think is going to be more favored in this matchup?
And I think it's going to be kind of a coin flip, really. It depends on how fast the red deck can get started. And with 2 light up the stages, that's a pretty fast way for red to get some card advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Not that is cost for 3 to 1 on a spectacle by dealing damage is huge.
And she's already got the 1 mana haste goblin out, who's going to be able to do 1 damage a turn and get those spectacle triggers out for her. Meanwhile, Steel Leaf Champion is in Skybilz's hand. She won't be able to play it right away, but when she does, that is nothing to scoff at. I believe it is a 5/5 for 3 green mana, which is just disgusting stats.
Yeah, he just sits there and gums up the board hugely. All of those little weenies on Saku's side are going to be sad to see.
Yeah, it is not. It's going to take 2 burn spells to be able to get through. It's a 5/4, and it can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or less. So essentially, we do have a lightning strike and a shock in Sakura's hand, but that's going to have to be 2 cards in order to kill 1, which is massively disadvantageous in the grand scheme of it. And you can see right here that shock is being used on the life total specifically, which buffs up the goblin on the field, as well as, just taking that life total down. That's what you want to do with these red decks. You want to burn their health as fast as you can. It doesn't matter about what they're going to do on turn 6, because you don't want them to get to turn 6. You want to win in those first few couple of turns.
And again, showing the power of that light up the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, here's 2 more cards for 1 red mana.
And there is the Steel Leaf Champion. She's debating, and there it is coming out. Oh, it's going to be, that's going to be a good wall for her. That is going to be a real good wall. This, the Lightning Strike still exists, and that Haste Goblin can tap to deal 1 damage specifically to a target. So by sacrificing the Goblin and using the Lightning Strike, she would be able to kill that Steel Leaf Champion while putting another instant card in her graveyard, thus making that other Goblin on Sakura's field a 3/2. Instead, she opts to use it on the player, Sakura, on Skybilz herself, though, so she can skewer the critics instead, which is going to be a 3 damage spell for 1 mana.
Using getting the 1 damage into the face and then making sure that take care of that Steel Leaf Chain.
Yeah. I think so. In my head, that might have been a slight misplay. If that 1 damage was targeted directly towards the Steel Leaf, then she would have been able to keep that pitchfork. I forget the name of that spell, but been able to save 1 extra card there. Yeah.
Would have been able to save. Yes, indeed.
Now this is a good play for Sky right now. Nullhide Ferox down on the board, and as you can see, he's got that mythical little circle spinning around him, which means he has hexproof. So he is only targetable by spells that the owner of the creature has. So Sakura cannot burn that Nullhide Ferox. And it will not happen. It is not allowed.
She's just going to play a couple of more Lava Runners and attack, get that 4 damage.
Mm-hmm. Down to 6 health. With enough burn left, Skybills is essentially racing against the clock that is a red deck burn top deck right now. If she draws a lightning strike, another shock, another Skewer the Critics. I think Skewer the Critics targets creatures only. Is that correct?
No, Skewer the Critics can hit anything.
Okay, so yeah, she will essentially, she won't get through with any more of these creatures, not with this board state that Skybills has, but if she can get enough burn spells, that shock in addition to whatever else she might be able to draw will allow her to come in the clutch with a victory of this turn, the game 1.
It's all going to depend on the top deck.
Okay, and we got a mountain, unfortunately. The red deck right now doesn't run too many of those either. 20 compared to the standard 23, 24 most decks run. You typically want to have about a 40% to 60% land to non-land ratio in your decks. But because all of the spells in the red deck are so low cost, you take that number down a little bit more.
You can get away with less low-cost spells.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Sky coming in for 9 more damage here.
And all of her mana is still untapped. This is going to be a little bit... Yeah, this is going to be a thrashing right here. Going to decide to block one of them and trade right there.
And you'll note, Skybills is still only on green mana here. So, cannot cast either the Thud or the Spellbreak.
Mm-hmm. 2 damage to target player or planeswalker on that Pyromancer. Going to be able to do 2 to the face, and she does have the shock in hand. If she's able to protect herself, Sakura that is able to protect herself from Skybill's onslaught next turn, she might be able to use the shock plus another burn spell to take a victory here. If not, it's probably sealed for a victory for Skybills on this one.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to the top deck on Saku's side.
Mm-hmm. Can't afford to take those that damage, so she is going to have to block each of them.
And we're going to see the blocks come in. Going to take 3. And what does the top of the deck have?
It's just so painful to see 3 of that Null-Eyed Ferox on the board. What a powerful creature. A 6/6 with hexproof for 4 mana. Ooh, Risk Factor. This was not the card that we needed.
Not quite.
So Risk Factor will allow Skybills to either let Sakura draw 3 cards or to take 4 damage. Obviously, if she took the 4, she would lose. So that's why Sakura just drew 3 additional cards here. And with those cards, if she had enough mana right now, she'd be able to win. But because of the situation at hand, she's going to be able to do an extra 2 damage with this shock, be fully out of resources, fully out of steam, no blockers, and Skybills will just be able to thrash right through that open field and destroy that last 5 health.
Yep. I'm not even going to get that far. Saku's just going to concede.
You can't give them the satisfaction. You gotta do the concede before they get to take you down to negative 17 health, or whatever that math would have added up to.
All right, so that is game 1 to Skybills, but we are doing a best 2 out of 3 here. Tomorrow, Arena is getting an update that is going to allow for best of 3s straight from your direct challenge button.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
It's going to be awesome. But tonight we're just doing best of 1s because it's not tomorrow yet.
That is correct. It is not tomorrow yet. It's cool because I think they're also including the feature to use like specific rule sets, like Pauper, which is common only, or common and uncommon only. I'm not certain. Or singleton rule sets where it'll like check your deck matches the rules.
Yes, I'm really excited for for all of that. It's gonna be big things for Arena coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you'll see now Sky has an Overgrown Tomb. There's only one card that uses black mana in her deck, and that's the Find Finality. And that's only the Finality side. I guess the Find too, because of the hype. But it's only there for the one reason.
Yeah. Sometimes it's worth it though. There's so many situations in these sets because we're in the middle of the Ravnica block, and this is the third time Wizards has returned to Ravnica. See what I did there?
No, that was the second time.
Sorry, yeah, the second time they've returned. You're right.
No.
Now I feel dumb. No, but anyway, the whole idea with Ravnica is it's this plane where it's inhabited by these 10 guilds, and each guild is made up of a different 2-color composition of the 5 colors in Magic. So there's so much good synergy between the different colors within these Ravnica styled sets, and because of the different combinations that come through, it's so easy to have the land and resources available where you can do something like splash a little bit of one color specifically for one card because you're already so close to having that color anyway, or there's a multicolored land that'll let you bring that color in without too much issue. It's generally one of the safer standards to be doing a 3, even 4-color deck.
It's easy to be greedy.
Easy to be greedy. And that Pelt Collector now at 3 counters on it. Pelt Collector reaching... So the way Pelt Collector works, he's a really cool creature there. I will describe him exactly as soon as I get the full rule text up.
Basically, whenever another creature comes into play or dies, if it has a higher power, he gets a counter. And if he has 3 or more counters, he gets trained.
That's what it is, yeah. So now that he has 3/3, he needs one more counter to be able to grant that trample to the other creatures. Considering there's a Null-Eyed Forax in Skybills' hand, she plays it right now. That's going to give both of those creatures trample and going to allow her to do some massive damage.
Meanwhile, she's only at 5, so has to start dealing damage quickly. Otherwise,
yes.
Saku is out of cards in hand, so we'll have to see.
We're down to the same kind of situation we were in last time, where and I think this is going to seal the deal right here. But yeah, we're
the top there, not so great.
Yeah. And there's that Find Finality right there in the hand. And it's nice that the expensive side of the Find Finality, it's one of those multi-use cards. The cheaper side, the 2-mana side, it's a black or green mana for each of those. So it's not like if you don't have your black mana yet and you have 2 green, you can still use it, which is really nice. And when you're at the point of having 6 mana on the board, you've probably seen, some of your other colors at that point.
Yeah, and especially in this matchup, you're more likely going to be using the Find to get things back from your graveyard rather than trying to wipe the board, because you look at the sport states.
Yeah, you don't want to wipe that. That's your bread and butter. Now Sakura is going to block the 4/4, which will have trample right now. I think I would have opted to block the 2/2 because you're still going to take that trample damage, but you would have cleared the board a little bit. Now, I think the only thing Sakura could do to win this matchup right now is to draw a Risk Factory, draw 3 cards, and be able to deal the damage with it.
Unfortunately, that does not look like it's going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to get 1 damage to all creatures, 1 damage to Skybills directly, but other than that, there is nothing else that she can do to keep herself safe, and this is a locked-in match for Skybills right here. Yeah.
All right, hello, y'all. GG's. GG, Sky.
Thank you. GG, Saku.
GG, Sky.
Those were really close matches. Those were really close. If it was the difference between a couple of top decks right there for you, Sakura, of whether you would have been able to get the burn you needed to chip through that last little bit of health. But
yeah, I was gambling. At the end, I was like, I can basically only count on 1 card. If I don't get the card that allows me to draw more cards, I'm probably in trouble. And then the other time, if I would have gotten,
any 2 damage burn spell would have got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a lot of them in the deck. It's just it didn't come up, which is fine.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. It's I think the biggest issue, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, Sakura, but you just have to believe in the heart of the cards. It's pivotal to every card game player's skill set. But
I'll have to remember that for next time. I'll channel my inner Yu-Gi-Oh!
Perfect. I think for our next match, we're going to have LinkDead and Sakura playing against each other. LinkDead is running, as he mentioned, the mid-range Golgari deck with, I believe, a blue splash. Am I correct in that?
Yes, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. And so it's gonna be another race against time for that match, I think, for Sakura mostly, where if LinkDead is allowed to get off the ground in the same way that Skybills has been able to these last couple of matches, if he's able to get far enough ahead, he'll be able to shut down the offensive force. But there's always the possibility that the burn just does enough damage to get you out of there fast enough.
Yes, indeed. I think it's going to come down to those wild growth walkers, honestly.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, well,
But
good luck, LinkDead.
Good luck to you both.
Good luck.
Where if LinkDead is allowed to get off the ground.
So, yeah, I think the wild growth walkers are going to be huge in this matchup. Being able to gain life against red is always huge. And outside of that, I don't know, let's see. Should be getting started here pretty shortly. So X-Water.
Same time. I was going to say, what do you think is one of the stronger archetypes in the current, standard format? You have your different kind of decks where you have your aggro decks, your burn aggro decks, your control decks, your mid-range. What do you think is one of the more successful kind of deck styles right now?
I mean, if you go and look on the ladder, you're seeing the mono red about 50% of the time, so that's successful. I like to see a lot of the aggro mid range out there. I see that a lot of it seems positioned pretty well. I feel like there's a really, really good control deck out there that just hasn't come out and dominated the format yet. But once it does, once it comes together, it's just going to ride roughshod over it. I think the format really is set up for a good control deck to take over.
It really is. With cards like Vraska's Contempt, 4 mana, exile a creature, planeswalker. Cards like Cast Down, exile a non-legendary for 2 mana. And things like there's just so much removal. The Assassin's Trophy in green and black that allows you to exile any permanent. The controller of that permanent does get a land, but still, overall, it's still a really, really powerful card. There is so much room, I think, in this set for control. That's why I actually really like the control in this set and why I've been trying to play it as well, because I do think it has a lot more potential than has been fully discovered just yet. That was a really nice draw right there for Sakura, getting that mountain on the next turn right there. She mulliganed this hand and kept a hand with 1 mountain and 6 cards on this turn right here. Going for gonna use the Pyromancer afterwards. Very smart, makes sense. 2 damage right to the face. And LinkDead is already sitting at a woeful 16 health.
But he does have that wild growth walker, so he
sure does
gain life back.
Yeah, luckily enough though, Sakura does have that Skewer the Critics, and I don't know if she's going to opt to use that on the face, opt to use that directly on the wild growth, because he is going to be able to gain a lot of health back if left unchecked. At the same time, LinkDead is sitting on a lot of mana in his hand. He doesn't have a whole lot of options between the Jellyfish Ranger?
The Jade Light Ranger?
Yeah, that's the right word.
I like that. Jellyfish Ranger. Seems good.
Yeah. The Jade Light Ranger and then the Smooth Pirate Lady who
just takes people hostage. So we did see the Skewer of the Critics come in with the Firebrand dealing some damage to get the spectacle, taking down the Wild Growth Walker before he can deal any life gain away from Saku's damage. That's huge plays for the red deck.
Wow, those explorers right there just took a Hydroid Krasis and a Planeswalker off the top of the deck. Very. Does Explorer automatically put it in your graveyard, or does?
You pick and choose. If you want it on top.
I guess he doesn't have blue mana. That's why he didn't keep the Hydroid Krasis, because I love that card. All right, and Sakura going again to take out the creatures. She has no idea what's in Link Dead's hand, but that was definitely the right call, considering the fact that he has absolutely no Find Finality. I was going to say no steam to keep anything rolling here, but
that'll get back a couple of nice things and just right back in business on Eldad's. Saku lamenting her lack of mountains. So we have the Jadelight Ranger and the Wild Growth Walker both in hands, who synergize really, really well together. Perhaps you can explain why a little bit to the chat. So when the Wild Growth Walker comes into play, he says that anytime you explore, you put a +1/+1 counter on him and you gain 3 life. And the Jadelight Ranger comes in and explores and then explores again. So that's 2 easy counters for the Walker and 6 life. Which is why you can see he waited to play the Walker just in case. Don't want to run into any removal when you can then just immediately buff your guy. And that Explorer coming off. So the way Explorer works exactly, if you haven't seen before, is you reveal the top card of your library, and if it is a creature, or if it is a land card, you can put it into your hand. If it's a non-land card, you can gain a +1/+1 counter, and then I believe either put it into your graveyard or leave it on top. Yes? Yes, that is correct. Yes. Now we have that 3 mana, but at this point, with the Wild Growth Walker and Explore combo, Link Dead has gained back a lot of his health, and it's not gonna. I don't think there's a whole lot of room here, especially with another Wild Growth Walker. Depending on his upcoming draws, he has that Vraska's Contempt. Remove this last creature that Sakura has, gain a little bit of extra life. He just keeps... Ooh, and he's not even worried about taking the damage. Knows that the card advantage is more important for him at this point. I think that was the right play. Indeed. I think so too. Go to 6. You can go up to 8. You're not scared of the Pyromancer anymore. Yeah, he's got enough blocking on the board to not worry about that Pyromancer. And in a red burn deck, 3 cards is a lot more scary and a lot more life potentially than just taking 4 to the face. And with the Vraska's Contempt being an instant, can just sit on it and wait for her to attack or play something bigger. Yeah. Yeah, so I think he's going to hold on to it as a little trick right here. Probably going to use that Vraska's Contempt before the end of Sakura's turn, more than likely. Skewer the Critics is right here, able to do 3 damage to something, but because she's not going to be able to get that Spectacle trigger, she's going to have to pay that 3 mana in total. Now, if somehow... The shot could hit Eldad, and then... Oh, that's true. And she realized it at the same time you said... That is a good point. You can get rid of one of those Wild Growth Walkers or do 3 right to the face. And that's going to basically boil that down to, will she be able to do a single extra damage or potentially 3 extra damage considering the Vraska's Contempt with the card she draws next turn, assuming she stays alive. Yeah, because here comes the Contempt. We see 9 damage on the board. I'm a little worried for her. What do we got in the hand? Llanowar Elves, nothing to worry about in terms of damage. So this is going to come down to what will she be able to top deck. Can it be a Lightning Bolt or a Skewer the Critics? And bless RNG, what do we got? It's a mountain. Another blank. Ooh. The victim, the heart of the cards, man. It's betraying her. Again and again. As well, that's magic for you.
Yeah, that sometimes it be like that.
And
don't
that
always
is
be
a
like
rough
that.
matchup for the red
But
deck.
sometimes
So
it do.
we'll hop into game 2 here really quickly. Again, nobody's using sideboards this week. Tomorrow, the update's coming, and then everyone will be able to use sideboards all the time. It'll be great, fun times.
Oh, then I'll have to finally make a sideboard. No, I actually have been thinking a lot about how to sideboard my decks against some other matchups now. And if you haven't played a whole lot of Magic, essentially a sideboard is a 15-card little pool that you have to switch between what you have in your deck and what you take out. So perhaps there's a card that says something like counter target blue spell. And you don't want to keep that in your main board, obviously, because what if you're playing against someone who's green and black? But if you play against someone who's mono blue in game 2, if you lost, you can put in that card and be like, okay, sweet. Now I have a perfect counter to my opponent in this second game. So that's kind of where the advantage of a sideboard comes in.
And most Magic is played post sideboard. because
Yes.
3 games.
Yeah, it's Arena's really the most we've seen of a lot of non-sideboard styled Magic kind of gameplay.
It's fun to see the differences between the two.
I agree. And okay, so we got a really nice starting hand from LinkedIn here. I like that he's got the elves. He's got every color of mana that he needs. He's got the Llanowar elves for a little bit of extra. He's got the Assassin's Trophy for emergency removal, which really doesn't mean that much against red, but it's just so much good stuff going on right here. Nothing that I can see will trigger the Wild Growth Walker right now, but still, really, really nice hand to start with in my eyes.
I agree.
All right, and right now we got a play from Sakura. She could play that Goblin Chain Whirler. It would do 1 damage to the Planeswalker, 1 damage. Ooh, no, she's going to go for the big 6. Okay. Oh, maybe not.
Going for the Lightning Strike and then the Light Up the Stage to draw a couple of cards. Or
Yeah, that could
exile
make
a couple of cards. They're not really drawn. You can't interact with them with what's that? Any of your discard stuff. Anything targets the hand. Those cards, you can't make them discard.
Oh, wow. And another Lightning Strike and Light Up, so she can do the same play again next turn. Use another Lightning Strike. Use another Light Up to keep funneling more cards into her pool of playable cards right now. Really nice draw right there off of the Light Up the Stage.
Yeah, that's not a bad play at all.
And I'm wondering if she's going to use that Lightning Strike on... Well, she'll have to use it on Link Dead specifically if she wants to be able to light up the stage as well. Of course, now having 4 mana to work with instead, though, would also potentially be able to skewer the critics directly to the face.
Doesn't care, just wants to get rid of that Wild Growth Walker before it can get any bigger.
Yeah.
So now, Link Dead has to think. Kind of stuck on 3 lands.
Yeah. Just a little bit out of range there. Luckily, the Llanowar Elves will tap for mana. He can use it to get that Hydroid Krasis out and draw 1 card. Gonna get, a nice Merfolk who has another Explore ability right there. Very nice. All right, we got the Chain Whirler coming in, which is gonna give, kill the Elf, do a damage, open up that Skewer the Critics, the Spectacle, right to the face right there. Very nice.
Yeah, just knocking Link Dead down to 11 HP there. 11. And the Chain Whirler also has First Strike, so it deals damage before normal strike creatures.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. First Strike and Double Strike will always deal damage before taking damage in combat, which is a really nice bonus for them.
And Link Dead's still stuck on those same 3 lands.
Yeah, and now he's down 1 a mana elf as well, so that's also a little bit rough. Gonna actually use the find to get the elf back, which is a suboptimal play, but desperate times come with desperate measures, you know?
Yeah, at this point, that a play is better than no play, right?
Exactly. And the risk factor, I think Link Dead's gonna want to... Oh, he's gonna take the damage. I think that is the right play. In my heart's heart, I gotta agree with him there. Life is a resource to be spent, just like anything else in Magic.
The Wild Growth Walker will gain 3 life back here this turn with the Branch Walker, so...
Yes. And he did get that extra mana. Now has enough to play Vivian Reed if he so desires when the time comes. Ooh, and more mana into his hand. Yeah, Link Dead's going to be able to start taking off right now. I got to say, the Wild Growth Walker is got to be the biggest shutdown towards these red aggro burn decks because they're just going to run out of steam before they could really do anything else in terms of finishing the job.
Oh yeah, and with another Branch Walker in hand, that's another 3 life. Just cancel out most of this risk factor if he wants to.
Yeah, that jumpstart mechanic is awesome though. So, because this is the same risk factor that she just cast last turn, but the jumpstart mechanic, which is unique to the Ravnica sets, it lets you use the card in your graveyard again, recast it for the same mana cost, as long as you also discard a card from your hand.
It's like they fixed Retrace. So we did see a Branch Walker chump block there against the Chain Whirler.
Mm-hmm. After the Explore trigger on it, really didn't need it for too much. Although you could have blocked with the Wild Growth as well to eat up the block. I'm sure he just didn't want to risk losing the Wild Growth Walker to maybe one damage card inside of Sakura's hand or something along the lines of that.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And at this point, the Hostage Taker he can now cast, which can steal away the Chain Whirler and really put this game away. Well, barring I guess the Wizard's Lightning kind of not quite puts the game away. Because if you get the Chain Whirler back, then that's a bunch of more damage coming through and wiping most of the board.
Yeah. All right, and the Fanatical Firebrand, the 1/1 with haste, you can tap him to deal 1 damage directly to the enemy. Really great for getting those last-minute spectacle triggers off in case the enemy does have blockers. In this situation, not going to be of too much help, it looks like. You could go attack with it. Either of the enemies it hits, it will kill. But at the same time, I can't see that being hugely advantageous at this exact moment, although both of those creatures on the board, the Llanowar Elves and the Merfolk right there, should be destroyed if she attacks with both and if he decides to block with both. That being said, he's got a big hand. He's got a lot of creatures coming down next turn, and I don't think he's very afraid of what's about to happen to him.
We can already see prepping the Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah.
Just get rid of that Chain Whirler.
Give her the extra mana. It won't make a difference. She doesn't even use all of the mana she's got anyway.
Does take a land out of the red deck, make it a little better, but not so much.
Yeah, better than taking 3 damage or losing a creature.
And now you can see the Vivian or the Carnage Tyrant could both come out here.
Mm-hmm.
And the Planeswalker is gonna be the
there it
choice.
Is.
Nice little +1. Figure out what kind of creature. I don't think he's gonna want to pick a land here, but you know I've been wrong before.
Really just wants to stack up those extra resources. Opts to take the Jade Blight Ranger. Very nice. Double Explore trigger. Already has the Wild Growth Walker. Can't use it this turn, but if the situation calls for it, ready to go. Things aren't necessarily fully over just yet, but it's going to be pretty rough because if Link Dead gets another turn, he's going to gain another 6 life right now, and this Lava Runner is not going to be powerful enough or have anything really in its toolkit that's going to be able to change the tide of this battle.
No, really, Saku needed that to be a light up the stage to draw a couple of quick cards and hope that they were
a Shock and Lightning Bolt out of a light of the stage would have been really the perfect little combo there.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt and a Skewer the Critics is what you were looking for there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, not so much.
It's that last 5-6 HP that's just been part of the huge struggle here today.
And that's life when you're a red deck sometimes.
Yeah, that's how it goes. The red burn deck, you either get there in 4 turns or you live to see yourself become the villain.
And yep, with 2 triggers, that's 2 more counters on the Wild Growth Walker.
Yeah.
Another 6 life.
Ooh, it's so powerful. Wild Growth Walker's so strong.
And then another off the top.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absurd. No wonder this deck is so highly rated.
Yeah, once it gets going, it's pretty great.
Yeah, and you can recover like from anything.
Yes, there's lots of easy recovery here.
And a 7/9 Wild Growth Walker now swinging down the field. Wow,
and it just looked a second ago like it was 18-4 the other way, and now
right.
That's how this Sultai deck can just turn things on its.
Yeah, just flip everything right around on its head right there. All right, well, that brings us to the end of that best of 3 right there. The Wild Growth Walker showing that it is the MVP of LinkDead's deck.
Definitely.
Very good match there, players. Very good match. What do you guys think about what went down there, LinkDead? How do you think your deck flew there?
Wild Growth Walker did a great job gaining life.
Is he getting a raise?
Yeah, definitely. I'm raising the number to 5 of them.
Sakura, how do you feel about those games there?
The first match, where was all my mana?
I know.
Oh my god.
That's what you red players get for only having 20 in your deck.
I literally have 20, and it's like, oh, you want lands? How about no?
How about no land?
I mulliganed, and then I only had 2 lands, and I was like, not like this. With my deck especially, like, I need the 7 cards. If I'm mulliganing, I'm giving myself a huge disadvantage, because then I'm probably not going to have enough burn to get to somebody really quickly, and that's really what I need. And then the second match, the second match, I had no one casting creatures. My haste guys, or even my my 1/2 creature that costs 1. None of them showed up. So
yeah,
it was
again
you had
another couple of matches where they just boiled down to a couple of just sour top decks. You know, just a one more bird spell could have got you there a couple of times. And the Wild Growth Walker is so much life back. Every time he explores, it's essentially an anti-lightning bolt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take away the lightning bolt.
Yeah. All right. Well, for this next match, I think we're going to have Skybills going up against LinkDead, which will be probably a little bit longer of matches. I think we're going to see the games going a little bit wider here. So I think it's going to be a couple of exciting matches coming up.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We're going to get to see that Gruul aggro mid-range against this Sultai mid-range, and
yeah,
that should be a really fun interactive match.
Yeah, so the biggest thing I think, the biggest interaction, the most important thing I see coming here, the Nullhide Ferox is going to be the bread and butter for Skybills this game. It's 4 mana, it has hexproof, and it does lock Skybills down, because when you play the Nullhide Ferox, it makes it so you cannot cast non-creature spells. So that's a little bit rough, but 6/6 for 4 mana with hexproof, you're not really sacrificing too much. Now, the difference here is that with Nullhide Ferox, if it has an ability 2 mana, and you can remove its hexproof, all of its abilities actually. So any player can activate this ability on the Nullhide Ferox, making it essentially 2 mana for LinkDead to be able to remove the hexproof, and then 4 for the Vraska's Contempt, or 2 for the Assassin's Trophy. So he does still have removal options for it. It's just going to be harder to get there.
Yes, indeed. But without those extra steps, that's just a beast of a creature to face off again.
Yeah, it is a really powerful creature. It's like just you usually don't see a situation where a creature's power and toughness are higher than its mana cost. Usually when you get into that territory, there's something fishy about it. And the only downside that he provides, the Null-Eyed Ferox that is, that he provides to Skybilz is that he stops her from casting non-creature spells, which she has like 3 or 4 of in her deck, something like that.
Yeah, something like that, maybe.
Yeah. And we almost have our challenge ready to go underway here. LinkDead's a little bit scared, taking his time. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it appears that we have three non-creature cards. Well, I guess non-creature, non-land cards in the. So the Null-Eyed Ferox, no real downside at all.
Yeah. Is it going to be able to get past a pumped up Wild Growth Walker, though? That's the real question.
That is what it's going to really come down to. We'll find out. No Wild Growth Walkers in the opening hand.
No.
2 Gruul Spellbreakers.
2 mana hand. The Harpooner right there, is he's the green reach. Oh, she drew an extra mana. Very, very clean. Very clean right there.
Yeah, he gets +X+O because
the undergrowth
trigger,
right?
With the undergrowth, but not necessarily your
nothing
undergrowth
in there right now. So I really like that that card that Skybilz just played. It's really interesting because what it does is it not only does, when it comes in based on the amount of creatures in your graveyard, it gives +X+O to the creature. It also has your creature fight an enemy flying creature, which is just awesome. And in addition to that, it also has reach, which allows it to block flyers. It just has so many things on it for 2 mana. It's an extremely just value-filled card. All right, and that Jadelight Ranger getting another double Explore. Ooh, wow, he already has 2 Hydroid Krasis in his hand. I'm going to see another one, but not something you really want at this exact moment when he's got the double as well. It's a good card to draw when you're really high on mana.
And we're going to see Sky pick Haste again on another one of these Spellbreakers. With the Riot mechanic, you can choose either a +1/+1 counter or Haste. Sky wanting Haste in both cases. Trading the Spellbreaker for a Jadelight Ranger seems pretty good.
Yeah, now LinkedIn going to draw a little bit more land, so he's got a lot of fuel right now to be able to last for a good while. He has the Hydroid Krasis, which will be able to draw him some more cards when he eventually does play it. Essentially, it's 1 blue mana, 1 green mana, and X mana cost, being able to pay whatever you feel like paying, where that X divided by 2 rounded down will be the amount of cards you're allowed to draw off of playing the Hydroid Krasis. It'll also come in with power and toughness of X, being the mana you spent in addition to the green and blue.
Yeah, so it's pretty big, and you get half of that in life and cards. Seems like a fair trade.
Oh yeah. Now we see Growth Chamber Guardian in Skybilz's hand. I'm unfamiliar with what Growth Chamber Guardian does. Could you?
Growth Chamber Guardian is one of my favorite cards in the whole set. He has Adapt of 2 for 3 mana. So when you adapt something, you pay the 3 mana in this guy's case, and he gets 2 +1/+1 counters. If the creature doesn't have any +1/+1 counters already. Now in the Growth Chamber Guardian's instance, whenever you put a +1/+1 counter on him, you can search your library for another Growth Chamber Guardian and put it in your hand.
Oh wow, that's so if you got a squad of 4 Growth Chamber Guardians, you can play one, adapt it, and then get a new one. Play one, adapt it, get a new one, and essentially keep filling your board up with more power. Because even the adapt isn't too expensive. It becomes a 4/4, and you spent 5 mana total, 2 on one turn, 3 on another. That's not bad.
Yes, and like we'll probably see Sky adapt the Growth Chamber Guardian at the end of Link Dead's turn. I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
Yeah, she's got the mana open. It looks like she kept it open for that reason.
And now Link Dead is going to use the Assassin's Trophy to make sure that no more Growth Chamber Guardians come out. No, we're not going to have that. They're going to stay in the deck.
Yeah.
You can have a Forest, that's fine. A Forest is better than another Growth Chamber Guardian.
Yeah. Getting rid of that card nice and early is definitely a smart play.
So now we have decisions on Sky's side. Do you cast the Find before combat and play a hasty Spellbreaker, or do you attack and then get 2 Spellbreakers back? Decisions.
Yeah, it's hard to choose. Gonna get the Spellbreaker and the Growth Chamber back, which I think is a fair call. I like that. I like that play.
Yeah.
Get one out to have the haste to the face ready to go.
And Growth Chamber Guardian can just snowball so fast.
What do you think the play is for Link Dead here? I think he's probably dropping Hydroid Krasis next turn. He'll have enough mana to be able to pay 4, turning it into a 4/4 flying trampler. Be able to destroy those Gruul Spellbreakers. Be able to gain him 2 life, draw 2 cards. And he does have a Wild Growth Walker in hand, so as long as he can survive long enough, he'll probably draw something to give him an Explore. Unfortunately, no, but a Vraska's Contempt is a great runner-up draw right there off that Hydroid Krasis. Very powerful card right there.
Yes, it is. Now, especially with Sky, Thud being a sorcery, you won't be able to sacrifice the creature you target in response.
Yeah, none of these creatures are going to be able to get past that Hydroid Krasis, so she really has to decide if what the play is right here. Even the Thud, well, unless the Growth Chamber Guardian is adapted in Thud's next turn, will not be able to do anything. Now, if the Hydroid Krasis blocks here upon Skybill's attacking with whatever, she could Thud in main phase 2 in order to remove that Hydroid Krasis from play entirely. However, with her life advantage right now, I don't know if it's necessary to do that, because if she just swings all out, she's getting at least 5 damage through, and then she could Thud and do another 2. That being said, that's not enough to win the game.
Yeah, saving the Thud for lethal, I would think.
Yeah.
Will we see another Hydroid Krasis here? That's the real question.
It is a good question. I think he wants to keep mana open for that Vraska's Contempt in the case that that Growth Chamber Guardian is adapted again.
I would think so.
Oh, getting teasing us with the Vivian Reed Planeswalker play, but that'll it might not be fully worth it. It might not have enough that it can provide for Link Dead at this point in the game to save him. Although I'm sure he wants to find some Explore triggers on those creatures if he could play them alongside the Wild Growth Walker. He can still play a mana for turn, I believe, so he does potentially have 1 extra mana available. That being said, they are shock lands and will cost 2 life to come in untapped.
Yes, indeed. The beauty of the Shockland, man. I remember when I went to Wizards website and Temple Garden popped up back before the first Ravnica cassette came out. It blew my mind. I love the Shocklands.
The Shockland, yeah, they're the best original dual lands, in my opinion.
And there you see Sky going to get another Growth Chamber Guardian, getting the adapt off. The Wild Growth Walker coming down on Eldad's side.
Ooh, this is scary.
Oh, and there's that Nullhide Ferox.
Oh, wow. Unfortunately, so it's very interesting because the Null-Eyed Ferox, put it down on the field, wait a turn, and then next turn she can pay 2 mana to remove its abilities and then thud with it and just win.
I mean, yeah, that's... Depending on this setup here, she might just win anyway.
Yeah. Really boils down to how Link Dead is going to be able to block and deal with this, because essentially she just needs to get 2 damage through and maintain life on that Growth Chamber Guardian. I don't think Link Dead is aware of the thud in hand, so he might not have that as something he's thinking about when he chooses blockers here. And he's not. The Growth Chamber Guardian's going to live, and...
Yeah, he's still at the comfortable 6 life.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Out comes the Ferox.
I think next turn you got the Smashing Ferox Hidden Dragon coming in.
Well, you don't even have to wait till next turn.
Oh, I
Because
missed
of the Llanowar.
That's right. That's right. There it is. Does he have a response? He cannot use the Vraska's Contempt, which would be his only way to gain any life at this point. Game 1 will be going to Skybilz. There's a reason she's going in and competing at the what's the tournament name she's competing in again?
She's doing the Twitch Rivals event next week.
Yeah, that's it.
And then the Mythic Invitational at PAX East. Both coming up soon.
Man, just a superstar here on Team Instant Speed.
That's what I get for trusting your math. Alright, so a lot of green in this opening hand.
That's a lot of GCGs. That's an interesting starting hand. I like it. You play the Llanowar Elves first turn. Turn 2, you're getting a Growth Chamber Guardian out. Turn 3, you got doubles, but it's going to be an empty hand real fast. Link Dead had to mulligan hard, though.
Yeah, had to take that mulligan, but is going to be able to put out a turn 2 Jadelight Ranger, so...
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
No, I've seen worse.
Oh, we're not. Gonna go aggro.
Interesting. I guess he's thinking that he wants to potentially get rid of that Llanowar Elves if she's willing to make the trade.
I guess I thought better of it. Is going with the Jadelight Ranger play.
Yeah. Probably wants... I don't know even exactly what... The land is definitely not bad. I would think that you would... Ooh, the Pelt Collector. I like it. Pelt Collector, unfortunately, it has to be when the creature enters the battlefield for him to get the counter. So it'll only work on that first one. The other ones will adapt and grow to be bigger than him, but they will not give a counter to the Pelt Collector because of that, because they have to grow after entering the battlefield.
Yes, it'll also trigger when something bigger dies. So if one of those Growth Chamber Guardians adapts, then we'll see more growing of the Pelt Collector.
Yeah.
Sky just going to take the 3 from that Jadelight Ranger now. And now it's more decision time.
With 4 available mana, that's 2 2-drops she could play, or 1 adapt she could make. Get that, I'm assuming 4th Growth Chamber Guardian hidden within her deck. Put it right in the hand. It's a good play because not only does it get more cards into your hand to work with, but again, it does filter more cards out of your deck, opens up her draws for things that aren't the Growth Chamber Guardian.
Yes, most definitely. And you know, having a 2/2 that can become a 4/4 just right in your hand is always.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not a bad card to be getting more of. And we got more land flooding over here for Link Dead. Doesn't really have a whole lot to work with. That finality will be very helpful next turn.
Yes, that the finality side can boost your creatures with some +1/+1 counters and then just nuke the board. Oh, well, we're going to see him find with it. and get some branch walkers.
Interesting.
And another 3 damage coming across. So, not scared of the board presence. Doesn't want to wipe out his own creatures. Fine to play this out. Sky exploring that Spellbreaker to the graveyard because no mountains to play it with. So
Yeah.
can't really...
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take the damage from that 4/4. No point in blocking it.
Yeah, no need to chump with your 3/2 that can attack back. At this point, it's kind of a race, kind of. You guys thought you couldn't race Magic.
Yeah, this is real speed gaming. All right, and now we got the Vivian Reed coming down. Going to be able to hopefully get a car. Oh, and there's the Wild Growth Walker coming on for Link Dead. So he's going to be able to play that next turn, get 1 Explore trigger, regain 3 health, and have a nice 4 toughness blocker available for himself. The Find Finality available there for Sky, but not really what she's looking for at this exact moment. She definitely doesn't want to clear this board unless she does give a counter to both of those Growth Chamber Guardians, essentially giving her 2 separate 5/5s while clearing the board. Not a terrible idea for next turn if she has the mana to use it.
Yeah, just got to find that black source to be able to cast.
Yeah.
But sending everybody straight at the face. No need to attack the Vivian. Not scared. No artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or creatures with flying, I should say. And it looks like a bunch of trading. 2 for 1 and a 1 for 1. 4 damage coming across.
You can't stop nature.
All right, we see a lot of clearing of the board there, which definitely makes sense. Definitely a decent move. Oh, we got the Karn coming in for Link Dead right there. Now, he just doesn't have a whole lot to protect himself, and it's going to be risky to play that instead of playing the creatures available in his hand. But you do like to see the extra Planeswalker option in the hand, especially if we can get to a point where he has a safe enough board state to avoid any immediate death.
And putting that second Wild Growth Walker into the graveyard, not having any more Explore cards immediately at hand, kind of makes sense.
That Vivian Reed is, I believe her ultimate costs 8. And I don't think it really would make a huge difference in the game at this point.
I mean, getting your creatures, indestructible. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad, but
then when you add in Vigilance and Trample and the +2/+2, that's all just gravy, right?
Yeah, it won't save you when you got 2 life and facing more blockers than you can handle, though.
No, unfortunately not.
All right, we have a creature card coming into Link Dead's hand, hopefully. Another Wild Growth Walker from the Vivian Reed. Not going to be enough to really swing the tide of battle here. One of those double Explore Jade Merfolk would have been really valuable at the moment. Unfortunately, not able to get lucky enough to draw it, because that would have gained back 6 health and put the clock on a little longer here. The Karn does see play, and gonna build a token for it.
We have a wall. We're building a wall of creatures to stop the last 2 life from being taken.
It's essentially a grade school game of Red Rover. We got a whole squad holding hands here, and they're just egging on these Growth Chamber Guardians and Llanowar Elf to go ahead and bowl them over.
Whose defenses will crack first? This guy's coming in with the attacks from 3 of the Guardians. Gonna see that Thopter jump for sure.
Yeah.
I bet we see one of these wild growth walkers live just in case there's more things to explore.
Yeah. I think that's the right play for sure.
Bunch of dead creatures, but most important thing, Link Dead still alive for another.
And we see the Assassin's Trophy come to hand, which
Break someone like you.
not the card he needed immediately. We still have the Vivian, which will allow him to look at the top cards of his library. The ultimate would have been nifty, but gaining 6 life is a lot more nifty.
Yeah, there you go. That Jade Light Ranger is going to help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Stabilization coming, maybe. And
Don't count him down and out just yet. He's got a lot of mana. He's got a lot of... He's got 2 Planeswalkers on the board, and if he's able to keep himself alive, it's going to take 2 separate Growth Chamber Guardians dealing full damage to get through at this point, which he has the power to stop right now with a 4-6 and a 4-3. Also considering he has that instant speed Assassin's Trophy ready whenever he needs to use it, with more land entering the battlefield. If he draws a Hydroid Crisis anytime soon, Link Dead is not worried about the rest of the future of this game.
I don't know if you saw off the Explorer, but it's another Jade Light Ranger on top. So there's another 6 life coming next.
Ooh, wow. And then we have the Primal Hunger, the dinosaur who costs 1 less mana per power you have on the field, up to 10 less. I believe he is a 10/10. Does he have Trample? I'm unsure.
Yes, Galta has Trample.
Okay, yeah, and that's a devastating 10/10 that could be placed on the board. But with an Assassin's Trophy sitting in the hand, I don't know how devastating it'll be if that Assassin's Trophy is able to stick around any longer.
I mean, we might see the Assassin's Trophy take out one of these Growth Chamber Guardians
I wouldn't be
first.
too surprised if it did. If the Assassin's Trophy targets actually the little dinosaur boy, he it's 1 mana to use his ability, right? Sacrifice, destroy an artifact.
Yes.
Okay, so he doesn't need to tap. Yeah, so he could get rid of that artifact token simply after combat if he's already tapped by sacrificing and clearing it out. Not that it would be the best move in my head, but it's an option.
Certainly is. And you know, with that Assassin's Trophy in hand, the thud still has to be in the back of his mind. So do you
Yeah.
go give the mountain away? So with the blocks and setup, take out 2 of the Growth Chamber Guardians, and now out comes Skull.
Yeah, there it is. 12/12 Trampler. A lot of, that's what I love about green cards. Blue cards, you read their text and they're like, oh, if you do 6 spins and a backflip, you take an extra turn. Red cards are like, burn them alive. And green cards are like, I'm huge. Don't mess with me. I'm enormous.
Yeah, who needs anything in this text box? So wait, Trample. Yeah, that's all you need.
He's got tiny arms, but a big heart.
So now, we have a couple of Planeswalkers. Oh, and it looks like Galta isn't going to be around for very long. Going to turn into a swamp, probably. Oh, there are no swamps.
No, I think her only black land is multicolored. I think that might be a good lesson to her at this point, though, to include a single swamp for the sake of those Assassin Trophy targets, though.
Yes, that allows... I mean, I don't know. It really depends on your mana base.
Mhm.
If you're not being greedy right now, are you really trying? So another Vivian and a land. Vivian going straight to the yard. No need for that.
Yep. Gaining the 6 life, getting the 3/2 on the Jade Ranger, and we got the 6/8 on the Wild Growth right now. Vivian could ultimate right now and still remain alive, which is interesting to think about. Now, is it an emblem? You get an emblem when Vivian ults, or is it just for the turn?
Yeah, no, you get an emblem.
Okay. Yeah, emblems are essentially these things that planeswalkers can give to a player, which are pretty much unremovable buffs for the player and their creatures, or debuffs for the enemies in some ways.
Yes, they didn't exist before planeswalkers, and now
I'm surprised they haven't
really be
invented created any cards that let you interact with them, like remove target, permanent or emblem.
At this point I kind of am too. I know at the beginning they said they weren't going to do stuff like that, but
yeah, hostage taker taking away the pelt collector.
That's a good way to make sure your pelt collector isn't going to, hurt you very much. Just steal it and
just
take
steal it. Well, he stole it, but at least the pelt collector left the pelts with Sky. As you can see, it doesn't have any of those 1/1 counters, so it didn't take the pelts with it.
Yeah, I mean, in the kidnapping, they left all the supplies. So now, Sky is gonna find another Ghalta. Well, the same Ghalta.
Yes. And the Thud remaining on the top of the library. Really good card to have when you got a 12/12 on the field. She's gonna need at least 2 turns and a really lucky set of draws to be able to use that Thud, though. Ooh, the Hydroid Crisis. That is, let's see, we got 2 mana and then 3, 6, 9. We got 9 mana, 10 mana available for Link Dead. He could gain up to 4 cards in life if he went all out casting that Hydroid Crisis.
But first, just gonna, ultimate Vivian and attack with the team.
Yeah. +2, trample, indestructible, and everything. This is an intimidating situation. Especially because of the indestructible.
Yeah, the indestructible just, hey. And then, of course, the vigilance, so none of them tap to attack.
Yeah.
So good luck attacking back in.
What a turnaround right here. Link Dead just really didn't look like he had a whole lot to move with for this game, and then just able to crank it out right near the end by holding on with those Wild Growth Walkers. And there it is, the Hydroid Crisis coming in, drawing 4 cards, getting 7 counters on it. I guess that was 3 cards, not 4. And with a 9/9 indestructible flyer on the field, Skybills just knows that it is game, and it is time to move on to the 3rd match. We are 1-1, and they only got to play 1 more right here to settle the score.
Yeah, here it comes for all of the marbles. Marbles. And that just goes to show you the power of that Sultai deck. Just the Wild Growth Walkers. As long as you have those around somewhere, you're never out of. Now, hey, there's all 3 colors. Look at that.
Wow, amazing. That's really nice. Unfortunately, the rest of the hand doesn't have a whole lot of steam in it. There's no draw engine. There's a lot of mana available, but other than that, this hand is a little risky in my eyes. And she does opt to mulligan, gets the Pellet Collector, the Growth Chamber, the Llanowar Elves again, but this time no black mana.
Yeah, the black sources are only here for the 1 card, so it's not a huge.
I think this hand is more worth keeping than the past, strictly because of that Growth Chamber Guardian. It'll be enough to get another Growth Chamber Guardian and another, and with the Pelt Collector, that'll hopefully be enough to provide some steam. And it looks like both players here had to mulligan this game. Very interesting. So we got a 6-hand game for both players right now.
No, and an Incubation Druid up on Eldad's side. That another mana dork that can adapt and tap for more mana or, start attacking.
Mm-hmm. And his adapt cost is 4 or 5. I don't remember.
It's a 2 green and 3, so 5.
2 green and 3, yes. Yeah, and so when it does adapt, it taps for 3 mana of, is it any color or any color combination?
I think it's any color that you can make from lands that you have.
Yes, that is
So
right.
If you're tapping for 3, if you pick green, it's going to be 3 green.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
All right, and so we got the Pelt Collector, we got the Merfolk down, got the Explore trigger off it, very nice. The Growth Chamber Guardian and Llanowar Elf still sitting back right now as Sky's going less for the growth and more for the aggression this game. While the Jade Light Ranger does come down, I hate to see the Jade Light Ranger played with no Wild Growth Walker. It just makes me sad.
Yeah, a little, but sometimes you have to race.
Yeah. Well, and 2 Explorers is still definitely nothing to scoff at. Amazing synergy right there with the Wild Growth Walker, but even on its own, still amazingly powerful.
Yep. Anytime you can explore twice with 1 card, it's just excellent. So, looks like we're trading, and the Pelt Collector grows.
Yeah. 1 more counter on that Pelt Collector, and he will be granting out that Trample. 3/3 is still just really good in general, but Skyville's now down to only a land in hand. She'll be able to get more of those Growth Chamber Guardians, but that's about all the steam she has. She's pretty much stuck in top deck city. Meanwhile, LinkDead has his Find Infernalities right there, so he can get a little bit of steam going back for him as well. Get some cards back from the graveyard.
Yep, being able to recur. Hey, there they are. Recur.
Yeah.
Now Skybill's deciding how much she values that stomping ground. Taking the 2.
Wants to be able to play this second Growth Chamber Guardian. She grabs immediately, it looks like, or at least maybe not immediately, but on this turn at the very least. You'll see most players like to play their creature or enchantments or sorceries on the second main phase as to hold back their mana to not have themselves fully tapped out in combat, to keep it open, even if it's unusable for to tell the opponent, I might have something up my sleeve.
You gotta bluff combat tricks. Always bluff combat tricks.
Yeah.
So now we are going to see the finality come in. The board gone.
That is an incredible play in my head right there, because just she has 1 card in hand, and whatever it may be, it's a good play for him knowing that he has, 2 Explore triggers in his hand, a mana dork, a Carnage Tyrant, and now even this Hostage Taker, which is just, what a draw.
So with Sky getting the Spellbreaker off the top after the finality, just immediately LinkDead just, okay, I'll one-up that with a Hostage Taker.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Spellbreaker has Hexproof, but only on Skybill's turn, only on its controller's turn.
Yes, so on Eldad's turn, just easy, hey, come with. Now we might even see the Spellbreaker come out and attack. It looks like exactly that. Given that counter, doesn't need the haste. Would rather just attack for 4 next. And
yeah, that Riot's always interesting with with seeing how players react to either taking the haste or taking the counter. I like the counter in a lot of situations. I understand why the haste is more useful a lot of the times, but a 4/4 for 3 mana is always a welcome sight for myself.
Oh, definitely. I've been rocking a lot of Gruul lately, and I give the counter most of the time.
Yeah. Really depends on how fast you need to get off the ground. And Link Dead's sitting at 6 health, so that haste, you know, it does do damage. It does help. But it's a valuable counter, especially in decks that can synergize with it, who might have some kind of way to utilize or manipulate that counter. Not that I think there's any of that in this deck, but still. The Carnage Tyrant comes out.
Carnage Tyrant's so good. There's no way to interact with it unless you have your own Carnage Tyrant. That's not quite true, but it might as well be. And just like that, the board states have swapped again from everything going Skybill's way. Now it's everything's on Link Dead's side.
Yeah. We're looking at almost a
Sultai
mirror
deck.
image of what it was before too, because you know there was 2 creatures on Eldad's board as opposed to Skybill's 4 or 5, and now it's just like a complete switch up with one of those creatures even being Skybill's at this point, which is just a kick in the nads.
Yeah, it really is just. That's gonna take Skybill's down to 1. And a Vivian on top.
There we go. Play the Overgrowth Tomb, just why not? Empty out that hand, flush her down, and pass the turn. With nothing but land in her hand, Skybill's accepts that this is the end of the line and concedes. GG to these 2
GG indeed.
powerful contenders.
GG to Link Dead, defeating both of his opponents tonight.
What an absolute legend.
And GG, those were fun games to watch.
Yo, those were really exciting. It was a back and forth a lot of times there. Link Dead, were you ever worried that you weren't going to be able to make it back in those games? Link Dead, can you hear me? He's just speechless by the immense recovery he was able to pull off there.
It was so stunning, he can't even believe it, guys. Sky, what did you think of those games? Those were really close.
Honestly, I had thought for a second I was overextending playing the second growth chamber, but then I thought to myself, what if he plays Hosker? And then suddenly I'm looking at a 4-4 myself. So I decided I'm either going to win or lose to finality on the overextension, and he happened to have the finality. I was going to call him out on it, though, for sure. And towards the end, if Jade Light goes into 2 lands and I draw Thud, I actually win that game. So I still had a win condition there. It was just a matter of what my deck wanted to deal me. But that first hand was horrible that I drew during Game 3. I'm glad I pitched it.
Yo, sorry, my headphones died during that match.
Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
that was a really close match, Skybills. Oh my goodness.
And that's not even the deck I'm going to use at Rivals. I didn't want to show the deck I'm going to use at Rivals tonight, but it is a lot faster than the one I just showed. It's potentially faster than Mono Red. I've been working on my team with it. But that was a good one. It's a fun little one where Thud can just come and steal matches a lot of the time. But you played really well. Just Sultai midrange is not a good matchup for this deck, so I'm happy I was able to take all 3 games as deeply as I could against your deck.
That thud made me laugh so hard. I love that card. But it
Yeah,
hit
that
me
thud.
with- no.
We were watching it from here, just looking like, when's the thud gonna happen? I really wanted to see the thud happen with that big 12-12. That would have made me just like, ooh.
Do you know how
Yeah.
many turns I had to draw red mana that I didn't? I was so upset. And I don't run a basic red because I need that 3 green at the beginning so badly to play the Steel Leaf Champion. It's not worth
Yeah,
it's not worth the Hail Mary that the Thud is, you know. I
I
have to
was
keep
scared of you
consistency.
getting red mana with the Assassin's Trophy, so but I had to kill the
figured-
12-12.
We seeing you hesitating on playing that trophy for so long. Like, yep, he's holding it back because he doesn't want it to turn into a mountain because that opens up Thud.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Well,
yeah.
I saw the trophy coming. That's why I held the find in my hand for so long. I'm like, well, if he kills Galta with the trophy I think he has, then I can bring it right back. The only problem was, I know I was putting off swinging at Vivian because I knew I could get you so close to lethal. And I'm like, okay, all I need is a red land draw, and I'm sure Thud's going to be here somewhere along the way, but nope. Just did not have the red mana for it.
Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. Running mono green in your Gruul deck isn't always the best. But GG's to you both anyway. Those were really exciting. A nice way to cap off our standard portion of the evening.
Mm-hmm. So what are we doing next then, Clifford?
Oh well, all right. So coming up next, I'm gonna step out of here and just turn this over fully to Team Instant Speed. We're gonna do a draft with the team, picking cards together, debating amongst themselves what they want to play and stuff, and then the quest for 7-0 after this. So be sure to stick around so we can get this going. Thanks to everybody for hanging out and watching. It's been a lot of fun for me to talk about all these fun standard games. Looking forward to more fun, wacky things next week once we have real best of threes from the arena update to go with our Pauper format and Singleton or whatever else we might want to get going on.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the update coming tomorrow too. That's gonna make these Wednesday night magics here on Speed Gaming. It's gonna open up a lot of possibilities.
So, if we want to move on over and get started with the draft stuff, we can take it away.
All right, cool. We'll begin the preparations.
All right.
All right, we're just getting the team set up. And what we're going to do here is all four of these team members are going to be drafting a deck, and then we're going to play cooperatively online together using that deck against other people on the internet that we don't know hoping to get 7 wins out of this before we take our 3 losses. So give us just a second to get microphones and everything set up, and we'll begin.
Hey, Fiesel. Or Fiesel's not here. Well, I definitely heard myself, so our audio is live.
Oh, great. Perfect. Awesome.
And we're back.
Here we are. Great. All right. Well, awesome. I guess we're about to head into the drafting segment of Magic featuring Team Instant Speed on Speed Gaming. I don't know why I have to do that voice every time I say the name. It's just automatic.
Every time you do that, I want to be like rated PG-13 response to that, you know?
Come see you today. So before we get started, I figured we explain a little bit about what exactly a draft is and how it works to everybody in the chat and the stream who might not know exactly what it is. So a draft in Magic the Gathering is essentially what imagine you got 6 friends sitting at a table, right? Everybody has 3 packs. You open up one pack, you take a card out of it, and you pass it to your buddy to either side of you. Everybody does this, and you go and take another card out of the pack that was passed to you, and you keep passing them around until that first pack is completely empty. You do this again with pack number 2 and pack number 3, and that's what gets you the card pool, essentially, to build yourself a 40-card deck to compete with. So what we're going to be doing here right now is doing a draft where we work together to kind of pick the cards that we use for the draft. And then I'll be joined by one of our other teammates here. I'm not sure who's planning on sticking around when but we're going to be basically cruising through and getting 7 wins and 0 losses in this draft. So what do you guys say we get started?
Let's do the thing.
Let's do it.
Let's go. All right. See you later, 750 gems. Oh my lord. And we start off with Prime Speaker Vannifar. And I think that's pretty much an automatic take, unless anyone seems to disagree with that.
Vannifar seems like a really good card. I mean, really strong pick for pack 1, and it establishes that we'd be playing Simic, and Simic's actually pretty strong and limited. We have the adaptability, which we saw in Growth Chamber Guardian earlier. I'd say it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Plus the potential of throwing in some Steeple Creepers. You know how I feel about that guy.
Oh god, not again.
Yeah, so Prime Speaker Vannifar, and just having a birthing pod on a creature, like we'll be able to sacrifice our creatures before they die in combat or whatever, and then tutor our library for a creature that costs 1 converted mana cost higher. I can't really see a downside to choosing the Prime Speaker at that point. Oh wow! And our second hand comes with a lot of decent picks for us. We have a Simic Guildgate. Applied Biomancy, which lets us choose one or both of target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn and return target creature to its owner's hand. So a little bit of a combat trick alongside a small buff in our colors. The Sylvan Bush Strider, 3/2 for 3. It gains us some life. Obviously, we have a counter spell, the Chillbringer, a 3/3 flyer. Ooh, I kind of like that Chillbringer, to be honest. And the Fairy Duelist and Territorial Boar.
Chillbringer is one of my favorite cards, but I should mention we can't see the cards.
You can't.
Can you screen share?
Oh yes, sorry. I will do that immediately.
Thank you, Saku. My recommendation for this pack is to go with the Fairy Duelist. That card can make such a big difference. You can take down one of their creatures, and then you can keep getting in the air for 1, and if Simic works the way it does, we should be able to apply +1/+1 counters to it. So Fairy Duelist is my pick in this pack.
All right, I love Fairy Duelist as well. Having the flash on a flyer right there. I love combat tricks. That Chillbringer, I hope we see another one, though, because he definitely will be a great target to be able to sacrifice with our Prime Speaker and tutor for later. Okay, so that leads us to our next pack, where we have... Tower Defense. I don't think we're too interested in 0/5 and reach. A counter spell. Open the Gates, which I don't hate as an option, as well as Titanic Brawl, which is pretty, especially considering we're going for Simic. Titanic Brawl might be a good choice here. We'll probably have 1/1 counters. Having a fight spell seems pretty decent.
Titanic Brawl always seems like a solid pick, especially for the fact you have to always consider removal is really important, and in Simic colors you don't necessarily get the straightforward removal that red-black brings.
Yeah.
Or even white for that matter, so I would definitely go with Titanic Brawl here.
Let's do it. All right, our next hand, and another Thought Collapse. They're begging us to take the counter spells. They're begging us, but we have a Steeple Creeper who, I don't want to say no to a 4/2 for 3. And another Titanic Brawl, which is another really hot pick if we decide to go with it. But this hand doesn't have a whole lot to offer in our colors.
What do you think of picking up the Frenzied Dig?
Are we considering going into red, possibly, for a, what is it,
I mean,
Timber?
it's only We're only in the like third, fourth.
Yeah, we're only
pick.
on third card right now. We
Yeah.
potentially
It's a good
could.
thought.
We don't need
He's
to be married to our first pick, so
yeah.
good options.
Is he? See, I don't know if because he's 4 mana for 3/3 with trample, potentially 4/4, and he's got the pump for 6. But is that more valuable than a Steeple Creeper? And I'm not saying that as a joke.
Hey man, you know I love the Steeple Creep.
I like the Steeple Creeper because it keeps us in the green. It doesn't lock us into Simic, but it does keep us in green, even though it does have blue in it. But and the 4/2 potential to give it flying and get 4 damage past ground blockers is really, really powerful.
I would personally just take another Titanic Brawl, probably.
Yeah, I'm with Eldad not picking the Steeple Creeper. Is there something up with you today? You love that card.
I'll
I'd take that out
follow
of the,
suit.
or the
Oh, there's
flash
a
counter.
snap pick.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
skipping out on the flash counter. Oh, but there's Scuttlegate. No, flash counter.
No, no,
I'm
no.
kidding, I'm
You
kidding.
take that frilled mystic. Oh my goodness.
Okay, well this
please.
time
Well,
I
that's
think
Steeple
Steeple
Creeper.
Creeper is the obvious choice out of this pack.
Yes. There you go. Now we have Link Dead's
or
Steeple
the
Creeper.
gate.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not against picking up a couple of gates as we're going through here. So, Azorius might not be the one we want the most because I think green is our definite primary color at the moment. But we got a Wrecking Beast possibility here, the Axebane Beast, or the Shimmer of Possibility. What do you guys think about these?
I'm always for big creatures, and we have 2 Titanic Brawls. I'd actually go with the Axebane Beast here. It's a nice early-ish drop, and it can get rid of a lot of things when combined with Titanic Brawl.
Yeah, I really like it, and I also really like that it is it's a 4-drop, and considering we're probably going to try to draft a Chillbringer, we could potentially sacrifice the Axebane Beast in the future for the Chillbringer with Prime Speaker. So I do really think it's a solid pick through and through. All right, and then we're back to this pack over here, which has left us with a territorial boar.
God.
It's the pig.
Gets hit by the Steeple Creeper buff.
Well, we could take the shield for memes, but I rarely see memes win this form of draft. I think the pig is the safe pick here.
Yeah, I would rather go safe than having an angry, yelling shield. He's probably just upset that everybody keeps hitting him.
Yeah.
Let's go for the boar.
Yep.
All right, and then we got...
Ooh, there's some good picks in this late pack here. Probably another Steeple, honestly, because you want consistency, but I'm open to hearing about the others. You also have the 2/5 Hexproof as well.
There's a lot of good options in this pack right
Kind
here.
of like open the gates. We'll probably see many Steeple Creeps this draft.
Yeah.
If you
It's a
really
good
want to
point.
get some.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I like
is
open the
pretty
gates
good.
as well. Basic land. It's a basic land or a gate as well, so even if we don't have the gate options, we do have an option to get a little bit of extra land. Hopefully we're able to get gates somehow, because we've seen time and time again how powerful what's their name? The Gate Guardian dude?
The Gatekeeper ramp?
Yeah. Well, the Gatekeeper ran for 1, but the 8 mana just artifact bro for 8/8.
Oh, yes.
One
yes.
less for each gate. Yeah, let's go with open the gates. Let's invest in our future. The Steeple Creeper will hopefully stick in the pack. We got a Simic Guild Gate and a counter spell. I think.
Oh, you go for the Guild Gate.
Yeah, we just took open the
Absolutely.
gates. In this one, I vote counter spell.
Yeah, I agree.
It's either
Yeah.
that, we go off colors, or we take tower defense. And something about a card that gives +0/+5 and reach just doesn't really do a whole lot for me.
I kind
I
of
don't
like the
like
White
the
Flyer.
The White Flyer is also a good choice.
He is
LinkedIn.
a good
I
card.
agree.
All right, I'll take him. I'll take him.
All right,
we
now
got-
you can take the counter spell if you want.
Do we want to consider possibly the Orzhov Guild Gate if we're considering taking gates for the sake of it's just not in any of our primary colors, which is the rough part. But if we do use white or black, it could be potentially helpful. If we do some sort of color, we're pretty locked into green at this point, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Yeah. All right, let's just go with the counter spell. All right, we got a Gruul Guild Gate that could be worth a splash or a Territorial Boar.
Guild Gate.
Guild
Probably.
Gate. I'm with LinkedIn on this one.
Orzhov Locket or Justicar's Portal.
Probably just the locket's good.
And then Expose to Daylight. Cool. We have
Ooh.
Rix
Unfortunately.
Mahdi Reveler. It's, and its spectacle cost is... Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen this card yet.
Beastmaster!
Yeah, I'm with absolutely the
Ooh, yeah.
Beastmaster.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Get in here, baby. All right.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Ooh, the Drake is really good as well.
I do like that Drake a lot. I do
And if we
like
get
that
children,
Drake.
that would be nice.
Yeah. Oh man, I want to greed draft this Godless Shrine though.
Ah.
All right.
Oh, Terramander's cool.
Yeah, Terramander's amazing. That adapt is super powerful. Plus, if we use our Open the Gates, it gets easier to cast. All that jazz. I like Terramander a lot, especially in this format.
Yeah. Also a standard card.
Okay, so now we got Mammoth Spider, which I think is a really powerful pick in Limited, the 3/5 reach. Territorial Boar, Prying Eyes, Clear the Mind, which, Slime Bind, which is a decent spell. And then Sage's Row Savant. He's 2 mana for a scry, a double scry. And then Eyes Everywhere, which is 3 mana. Beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. And for 6 mana, exchange control of this and target non-land permanent. Anytime you can cast a sorcery. So it's basically a mind control or steal a spell for 6 mana. But yeah, what do you guys think here? We also have Revel Slinger, I should mention.
The spider is the safe pick here. Eyes Everywhere will come back to haunt you. Every time that scry ends up benefiting your opponent, I've been on the beneficiary side of that where someone gave me Eyes Everywhere and then I used it to win the game.
Oh.
So I would definitely say the spider is the pick here.
Yeah, I wasn't glancing the Eyes Everywhere in a wantful way too hard anyway. I think the Mammoth Spider is a good pick, especially with everything considered. We have a really good range of our curve right now where we have like a couple of 5 drops, a couple of 4s, where if we get our Prime Speaker, we'll be able to use her ability well.
Now there's a great... Yes, exactly, Saku. Go ahead. Why do you like it, Saku?
I don't know. Because it gives +3/+3, and I like tough creatures. Plus, works with other things that we already have.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Plus reach.
It does combo with a lot of our other cards too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Terramander, for instance.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Gift of Strength. All right, we got Gate Colossus.
Yo, that was the card we were talking about before.
We're gonna have to hard. We only have 2 guild gates so far. We're gonna have to hard invest if we want to do it. How do you guys? I love Gate Colossus.
You can pick up more gates. Is there anything else we want?
Let's see. The Courier isn't too bad, but it's not great. And then the Persistent Petitioners, I've never wanted to use in Limited. It's basically, hey, I'm spending mana so you can mill, and if I get 4 of these guys, I can make you super mill, but that's super unlikely. And then we got the Boar.
I mean, we can... Alright, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the Colossus is a solid pick here. Now, we're midway through Pack 2, so there is the issue with Guild Gates. However, we already have it open the gates, and kind of makes that card even more appealing if we see more of them.
Yeah. I think I think Gate Colossus is the definite pick here. Let's go for it.
Okay.
All right, and in this pack, we have some decent picks here. Shimmer, if we want to get some card draw going on. We got Caretaker. It's good to have a 0/3 defender as a 1-drop, especially considering we don't have a whole lot of 1-drops just yet. And then the Bush Strider. What do you guys think? It's also mana of any color, which is useful if we're splashing.
You have to tap another creature, though.
Yeah, it's a lot to pay to do it, but in Limited, it can really come in handy at in some scenarios. I don't know.
Maybe Shimmer, because if we're running Terramander, we probably want to play some more spells.
Yeah, I'm with Link Dead here. The Shimmer can really get us out of a bad situation.
I'm into it. Cool. So then we got another Shimmer in this hand. We got Sphinx's Insight, which we probably don't want to splash white for, and Root Snare. You guys think another Shimmer?
I think
Yeah.
another Shimmer, yeah.
Let's do it.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing else really. So.
We got an Orzhov Guild Gate, which it's a gate. It's not really one we want. And then we got Coral Commando and Humongulus. If we take a quick look at our curve, we've got 2 5-drops, a bunch of 4s, a couple of 3s. We have Steeple Creeper actually as our only 3 so far. And then we got a good chunk of 2s. We got a Fairy Duelist, a Territorial Boar, 2 Shimmers. Only 2 creatures that are 2-drops so far though, and the Terramander at 1.
I like the Locket to ramp into our 5-drops and possibly into Gate Colossus and to draw cards in a bad situation.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even see the Simic Locket. I only noticed the Azorius one. I don't think it's a bad call. Let's go for it. Simic Guild Gate, easy pick.
Hey,
Easy pick, yeah.
easy.
All right, Root Snare, these claws, or another thing.
Just take the snare for now.
All right, Prying Eyes or Clear the Mind. I think Prying Eyes over Clear.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Cool.
And then, yeah, there's
Doesn't
really
matter
nothing
here.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Death Toucher.
I'm just going through these last packs since they're not in our colors.
Oh! That's a
Let's
great one.
go! I'm glad we drafted that Drake now.
Yes.
I hope this Chillbringer comes back to
man,
us.
And Chillbringer,
Yeah.
He's
No,
not
you
coming
take
back.
that Sphinx.
Yeah.
The Sphinx is so
Oh my
good.
god, it's so good. 4 mana, 4/4 flyer, and he scries 3 if he's in your opening hand. He's so. Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
Oh my
Simic
God.
Ascendancy, one of the most powerful rares if you are solidly in Simic colors.
Oh my
Not only,
God.
It's a nice mana sink.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
I'm taking it.
Card in his hand.
All right, we got Azorius Guildgate, we've got Axebane, we've got Wilderness Reclamation, which is good if we're playing more instants or sorceries. I don't know if we need this. And then Arrester's Admonition. Guildgate might be worth if we decide to splash white, and even if not, it gets us closer to our Gate Colossus.
We could treat it as an island anyways.
Maybe Arresters? But
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at as well, Arresters.
Arrester's Admonition.
It's a great
Oh
card.
yeah, sorry, this one. Return creature
Yeah.
owner's hand and draw if you cast it during main. Yeah, I'm open to that. I'll do it.
Dang, this pack 3.
Okay. We've got another one of these applied biomancies. I don't think we took the previous one. The Gateway Plaza.
Gateway
Ooh,
Plaza. counts as
Plaza.
a gate.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is. It is.
Great card.
Let's do it. Okay, we got Skitter Eel. I like the adapt on Skitter Eel. We've got Shimmer, and we've got another one of these Caretakers. I think Skitter Eel might be the call here.
Yeah.
I agree. We've got a lot of the other stuff. Like we have a lot of Shimmer already.
Cool. All right.
Oh, I
Ooh,
like
Growth
the
Spiral,
instant down there. I'm trying to remember what the name is because it's
Growth
like really
Spiral?
micro. Growth Spiral.
Yeah,
yes.
draw a card, put a land onto the battlefield. It is a really good card.
That is a fantastic card in our colors.
Let's do it again. Okay, now we got Wrecking Beast, Sadros, Savant, and Slimebind and Wall. Now,
Take the big guy, I think.
Savant, maybe?
I think,
Oh, you like Savant?
yeah, just because we
He's
only
early
have
game.
2
He's
creatures at
really
2
solid.
mana so far.
Okay, that's fair. I like that then too.
Yeah, and we have a couple of big guys already, and a lot of 4-drops. So yeah, I think Scry would help us, especially as it's 2 Scry. And then in this hand, we've got not a whole lot going for us. We could take the Sphinx's Insight. It's probably the safest choice.
Sure.
Azorius Guildgate, I guess.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Simic
Oh,
Guildgate.
Simic Guildgate. There we go.
Guildgate.
Wow, we have gotten really
Greatly.
lucky with the Simic Guildgates. All right. Wilderness Reclamation, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, there's nothing else there we can use.
The Tower Defense.
Yeah.
Thought
There's a
Collapse.
counter.
Yep. And then I'll take the Orzhov Gate in case, and this dude. All right, now we just gotta build the deck. So I'll go ahead and take the things that don't fit out real quick.
One of these things just doesn't belong.
I don't think we need to splash into white here. I think we're doing just fine on Simic colors
Yeah,
here.
I completely agree.
Agreed.
Let's take the Orzhov Gate out. We've got 3 Simic Guild gates. We've got 1 Gruul, 1 Azorius, and Gateway Plaza. Do we keep all of these gates, or do we shrink some? We got 6 total.
If you draw one of those off-color guild gates early, that could be really bad for us if our opponent's very aggressive. But that's just my 0-2.
Yeah, I do like them because Gate Colossus does come back to your hand if you play a gate. So if we lose him and we draw another gate late, it gives us another chance to get him back. Having more, I think, is really valuable. Having one of the off-color ones could hurt us a little bit early, but I don't... Like, in Limited, I don't think it could hurt us enough to stop us too hard, considering they both have one of our colors.
Well, we need to lose at least 3 cards. So I guess
Yeah.
let's take a look
Well,
at
I think
what else we have to...
We don't have our full mana, like, situated yet either, because we
Yeah.
have 4...
We only have 4
Yeah,
islands.
so we got 6 gates, and then a total of 8 of the other lands, putting us at 14. So we would need... essentially to lose another 8 cards out of the deck before we're clean here. I think definite keep on... How do you guys feel about the Wilderness Reclamation? I don't feel like we even have many instants to utilize that with.
The only card that I feel like Wilderness Reclamation combos with is with the Simic Ascendancy. If we get Simic Ascendancy late game with Wilderness Reclamation, that's so many +1/+1
That's
count.
true. Tower Defense, I think we're good to take it out. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We have 2
Our
counter
Broodstare.
spells. Do you guys think we need 2? Do you guys think we need 1? Do you guys think we need any? I like counter spells. I just don't know.
That's
And
tough.
remember, we do have the flash counter.
Yeah, that's true. We do have the flash counter spell on the Frilled Mystic. So I think we could take 1 out and still feel pretty confident with the amount of counter spells in the deck. We would have to still drop another 5 cards.
I'm thinking maybe counter spells in the sideboard.
Yeah.
That's something that we can consider siding into in some more controlling matchups, but the counter spells only go so far in aggro matchups.
Well, this is best of 1.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. No, wait, is it best of 1? Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
I was used to
But
playing in
even-
the other format.
Even so, I think we're working pretty hard here with like getting creatures out and being aggressive. I don't know if counter spells are the most needed thing for us at this point.
Well, I'm thinking
know.
you take out the shimmers or you take out the counter spells. I don't know if we should keep both in.
This is always the hardest part, cutting those last few cards.
I think the enchantment, the 4-mana enchantment, is not going to be great most of the time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. On the whole, it wouldn't be as great.
Yeah, it has a good application, but it's going to be too hard to and too wide to get. The Prying Eyes is 6 mana, draw 4. Do you guys think we need that?
No, I think that's a little costly. We have the Locket to draw cards. We have the 2 shimmers
Yeah,
to
and
draw
we got a lot of
cards. That's a good cut.
we got a lot of creatures who are going to scry for us as well.
Yeah, you can cut that one.
So now we have. We got a lot of 2-drops. We're heavy on the 2-drops, which isn't necessarily the worst thing. It's just where we're sitting. I especially like that Shimmer of Possibility is in there as our 2-drops. I think it'll be. I think we should keep both. Especially with the Terramander in here.
Yep.
Yeah, how many cuts do we have to make now? 2 more, right?
Another 2 cuts. Yeah. So
And you took out Wilderness Rack, right?
I did.
Okay.
So we could take out something big, which would probably be our Axebane Beast is really our only larger creature that's not, or the Skittering Eel that is worth removing.
Are we gonna need the Gift of Strength? We already have 2 Titanic Brawls.
That's a good question.
What does the Arrester's Admonition do again? Can't remember.
Return
bounces
creature to its
things.
owner's
Oh, it
hand.
bounces.
And if you do it during main phase, you draw a card.
I like it because it replaces itself and stalls your opponent a little bit.
It can be, yeah, it can be really useful, and it can be really useful with the Pteramander as well.
What is our creature to non-creature ratio?
How
Looking
do I
like-
check that?
Click on the little bars right next to your
Oh,
deck.
gotcha. Creatures 14, non-creature 10.
So 14 is... I typically aim for 15 creatures, so 14 is cutting it close right now.
Uh-huh.
Definitely
wow.
Gift of Strength I would take out if that's the case, because if we don't have any creatures to use it on, what's the...
That's fair.
I'd
Consider
probably
2 of
drop
those
Shimmer
non-creatures
and-
are Shimmer,
and
though.
Palm Spell.
Sorry, what was the other one?
And the, oh, you already took it out.
Yeah, we can drop 1 Shimmer. We can drop the Gift of Strength, and then that puts us at 40 cards, 14 creature, 8 non-creature. One of those non-creatures gets us... Sorry,
I see an issue. We're running 18 lands. I would not recommend 18 lands. I typically run 17 in most draft decks, unless there's some sort of good reason to run more or less than that.
yeah, that makes sense, especially because we have Open the Gates and Growth Spiral. We have some extra land business. We can drop, let's see, probably a forest, since our only, our blue is our 1 drop. Everything else is green. That can throw back in either a Shimmer or...
Creatures? No creatures.
No creatures left. No, not unless we take a white creature. I think Shimmer, because then we can dig for creatures.
I'm fine with that.
Sure, that sounds good.
All right, well
Are
then we
we,
got we got our 40 there then.
Are we in 17 lands just to make sure before we queue?
Let's double count. It'll tell us 17 lands.
All right, cool.
Cool. All right.
All right, X-Water, you drive the car, and if you have any questions, we'll be here.
Sounds good. Oh, I gotta name it. Let's call it Big Boys, because they're always growing. Because they're Simic.
Wow.
All right, well let's do it. Let's win some games here, guys. All 7, no stops. All right, so we're starting off with 3 forests. We got the boar, we got the Simic Locket, and we got the Prime
Locket.
Speaker. Yeah, we got the Locket, we got the Prime Speaker. I'm keeping her,
Okay.
especially because we go first.
I don't know how I feel about not starting with the Crater Hoof Behemoth.
With the Crater Hoof Behemoth?
Yeah, every time last week we started with the 8 drop.
Oh, yeah. All right, they got 2 guild gates out already, which is a little like bleh. Makes me worried about the fact that we're gonna see one of them big gate boys, but whatevs.
We're also going to get Zagana out here, which is going to be neat. Or, you know, dropping the Drake, the other 2 drop. Whatever you feel works best.
Yeah, I really want to put Zagana out nice and early, but I'm also a little worried about the fact that they've got 3. Oh, never mind. Dovin's Acuity. Draw a card whenever you cast an instant during your main phase. Yeah, it's just a draw engine. This Sphinx would be great if we had one more blue. So I'm going to go with the Prime Speaker, and then we can attack with the board next turn and sacrifice it after and kind of keep that chain going to get some big creatures out.
Oh, hey, it's information campaign.
Give us a blue mana. Let's go. All right, what are you doing? What are you doing, friend? That's fair. I expect some sort of hanky-panky like that happening.
Are we still doing phrasing X water?
Is Hanky There's nothing wrong with Hanky Panky.
So you say.
I've built this vocabulary up strictly for PG-13edness. All right, you think we're getting the Dovin's Acuity back out? No, we got the Sage's Roast Savant, and then maybe the Acuity coming in after, depending on what he scries. That's smart. He's going to filter which card he's drawing first. I like that play. I really like the fact that we can attack with the boar and sacrifice it in response, though. It's whenever you... Oh, no, it's only at a time you can cast a sorcery. Never mind.
What do you think this is? Birthing pod?
It's exactly what I thought it was.
They couldn't re-release that card. Ooh, Growth Spirals. Interesting.
Yeah. I wish we had
get
a
a
land in our
island out.
hand already.
I know.
Yeah.
This isn't worth brawling right now. We can go to combat with the boar. If the boar dies, we can play the Sage's Roast Savant and then tap to sacrifice it for another creature, which I think is a decent play. So I'm gonna go for it.
Go with your instinct.
Don't block my boar. Oh, he did block it. Never mind. I misread that situation. All right. Well, it's a good thing we didn't use that growth spiral. I will put... Let's see. I like the
I think it
idea.
matters because we're just gonna sack our guy, right?
Actually, that's true.
Yeah.
We're about to tutor.
Also, too, don't forget that we still have Titanic Brawl in our hand as well, so we can use it possibly as a removal spell. That is instant speed.
Uh-huh. That is a good point. All right, so we can get the Steeple Creeper. My Steepy boy. Let's go.
Steeple Creeper's good right now.
All right. I don't like that. I don't like that.
You just hate to see that happen.
You sure do. At least we got a shuffle. Maybe we can get a blue, some sort of blue mana so we can get this Windstorm Drake out. I don't know if this is really something we want to do right now. Titanic Brawl, I don't. Yeah.
You 2-for-1 yourself by doing that right now.
All right, we got Shimmer, so at least we could get a land to hand, and then we could potentially get an island that way. Or maybe something else. I don't know. It's really our only option, so let's go for it. We can go with the Simic Guildgate. We could go with the Mammoth Spider, which is also a pretty awesome pick if we had enough mana to play it. The Arrester's Admonition isn't speaking to me right now. The island is fine. I don't think playing it right now will make a difference, so I would probably opt for the Guildgate over the island just for color purposes. But at the same time, we have tons of green, so it's not like it matters.
Probably choose the island.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then,
with
Growth
Eldad.
Spiral.
Yep.
I'll do Growth Spiral before our next turn since it's instant. Just
Sure.
bait it out. I don't think I want to attack.
Lifelink. Yuck.
Hey, I like Lifelink.
Not when
It
you're
works
against
so bad
it.
Against
No.
yeah. My mono red doesn't do well against life gain.
I say that and then I think of Lyra.
Man, I wish Dovin's Acuity did this much work for me when I drafted it last time I played. Oh, that's neato.
Hey, it's new Exalted.
All right, go to your combat. I don't understand what's happening right now. Are they just in the attacker's deciding phase and not doing anything? Oh, he's just thinking. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was like, he doesn't have any mana. What's he trying to judge? All right, we'll resolve that. You guys think we trade here?
Yeah, because then you don't lose Titanic Brawl either if you do so. How many cards do they have in hand? It looks like
They got 4. Yeah. They got
Yeah.
4 and they
Definitely
got
block it.
make the trade.
Yeah, we do have the Sphinx's Foresight. We'll be able to scry every turn on our upkeep, assuming we keep it. And then Growth Spiral. Oh,
Yes!
look at that draw, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these
another
draws. Wow.
Okay, so I think we might want to hold for the Frilled Mystic, maybe? Or do you think we go with the Sphinx? That's a tough one.
They've got 7 mana available, which scares me. At the same time, our Sphinx
I'd play Sphinx.
could scare them. We might get it removed, but I think we need to have a board.
All right.
And then we got the Drake next turn if we want to, and it'll
Yeah.
buff up our Sphinx as well.
We have Titanic Brawl as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
I really love that this Sphinx is going to let us scry every turn. It looks like our opponent here got pretty mana flooded, which I was a little worried about at first, but I'm feeling a little bit better about now, because how many... Oh! Defender and loses flying. Oh, there's the Gate Colossus! Knew it. I knew it. Alright, at least we still get the scry every turn, which is nice. Alright, Gruul Guildgate? Nope. I want my own Guild Ooh!
That's interesting.
Yeah, we can
right
pump
now.
this guy up to 8/8 potentially, and then be able... Yeah, if we play this, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. We got enough mana available to use our Frilled Mystic if we play our Simic Ascendancy. So we can still counter next turn. We'll probably have to take 8 to the face, but I like the idea of having the Frilled Mystic in our hand with the Ascendancy on the board. Because, yeah, we got the mana available to do so. And then, in worst case, we could even sacrifice our Locket as well if we don't Frilled Mystic. So, let's go next and end turn. And we'll figure it out. Right now, I really want us to get our Gate Colossus, because we have enough to play it. We have 2 card draw on the field, hopefully, if we need it. Go into attackers. I don't want to lose our Sphinx. I'm going to take the 8 just in favor of keeping the scry. We'll take the 9, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to at this point.
Pass the damage. Ugh, it hurts so bad. Guild Colossus is so good. It's not fair.
I think we draw cards, right? If they don't do anything.
Yeah, draw cards is definitely
Yeah.
the play here. All right, so we got a chump blocker. We got 2 chump blockers. Should I keep the Axebane or should I put it down?
Bottom. We have
Bottom.
enough stuff to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, Terramander.
We have 1, 2. We got 2 instant slash sorceries in our yard. So Terramander could go down, and Gruul Beastmaster could go down, and that would give us a blocker for next turn, as well as having the Terramander down, which is really nice. We have to pay a mana in order to play this Gateway Plaza. So one thing I want to see is we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana available. This will cost 1, and this Gateway Plaza will cost 1. And then we will have enough open for the Frilled Mystic next turn, which I think is a better play. We can sacrifice the Terramander, even though I really don't want to block the Gate Colossus.
You cannot do that. You gotta make sure you look at Gate Colossus's other ability.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You are 100% right. We're going to give it the 1/1 counter. And I'll play... I mean, I might as well play the rest of our stuff since... Oh no, we're running out of time! time. Okay.
We in theory
I thought
have
this
one
was
more
speed
turn.
gaming. Come on.
They're also running out of cards though. If we get rid of that Colossus soon, they're going to be sunk.
Yeah, we need some sort of way to remove
You
it.
don't want to block with Terra.
You don't want to block.
You can't block with I don't want to block.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
No, well, couldn't we
We'll be down to
block
2.
and then use Titanic's strength next turn? No, because then it has.
Well,
no, it doesn't have trample.
I
This
want to
thing
block
doesn't have
it so we
trample.
don't take 9 damage. Yeah, I'm just scared of the 9.
That's fair. I mean, I was thinking more we could block next turn, but then we go down to that. So
I guess we can
tough
block
call.
next turn. If we fight though, our creature dies. Like, yeah, I think I'm gonna block it. We still have the Windstorm Drake we can put down as an extra blocker, but it's a little rough here. Sky Tether, come on, another one? That's so mean. Oh! Gate Colossus. Hello.
now remember though, their Colossus is technically one stronger when
Unless
they
we
attack.
Titanic Brawl it before.
Yes, that's a very important thing to remember. So
Yes.
I mean. Okay, never mind.
What?
or we could make it stronger with the Ascendancy. How much mana do we have total?
Not enough to do that. We have 5 mana for the Gate Colossus and 2 open, which will basically have to be used for the Titanic Brawl. Or we can play Windstorm Drake for now, use him as a blocker, and that's all we got. We could even save our mana for now.
Just slam the Gate Colossus.
Yeah, you slam the Gate Colossus.
All right.
That's right.
Two
You
can
just
play
double,
this game.
We can just double block.
That's
That's
true.
what I'm thinking. Yep. And it doesn't have trample if I remember properly.
No,
now,
it doesn't have
it
trample.
become a 10-10
It'll be
here
a 10-10 here, but we'll have enough on the board to still take care of it.
He might not attack here. Depends.
Yeah. I would love if he did an attack here, because then we could put a counter on our Gate Colossus and fight.
Sounds good to me. Things are starting to look up.
Yeah, I've been very nervous this entire game. I've never had a chance to draft a Gate Colossus before too, so I'm very excited about having one. End of combat! That makes me really happy.
PogChamp.
Pog in the chat.
Do
Alright.
they not? Well, I guess they don't see that we have Titanic Brawl in hand. I don't think we need another land. No, I think we're
Wait,
flooding.
how much is Simic Ascendancy? Or
It's
It's
3
3.
mana to do it. It's gonna be 4 mana total. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I'm gonna take the land just so we have enough for Frilled Mystic next turn with the fight and the buff.
Actually, look at Titanic Brawl again.
One
It'll
less.
only cost you 1.
Yeah, so it's gonna be 3 for Simic Ascendancy and 1 for Titanic Brawl. We have a total
Yes.
of 8 mana, so we need 4 open for Frilled Mystic for counter.
Yes,
Yeah.
awesome.
So we're gonna use this. We're gonna use basically doot, and doot. You're stronger. And then we're gonna use the brawl. I should just do it now, right? There's no reason not to, because then we can just swing. Actually, I won't swing because he's got the little boy, but
yeah, just well.
Yeah,
If
just
you're not gonna do it now, you might as well wait till their turn. So
I'm
they
just-
can't.
I'm
So they
doing it
can't
now
get
more
back
so
with
out
the
of being
gate.
nervous, but we have
You
the.
could attack. You
I-
could attack now. They can't block. It's a 2 power.
Oh, that's right.
And if they try to pump it, we use Frilled Mystic here.
I keep forgetting the 2.
I keep forgetting it too. That was good thing we got Skybills, resident expert, along.
All
I
right,
do
Ryan, we can just
my
counter
best.
if you play them.
Nah, I'm gonna counter
look at
that. I'm gonna
You
counter
will
that.
want to counter
It's
that.
a
That's a good
4/3
call.
flyer, and I'm gonna counter that. 4/3 flyer with Vigi, and we've lost all of our flyers. I'm gonna counter that. Yeah!
Yay!
PogChamp team Instant Speed comes in the clutch.
Gate Colossus.
You did it.
All right, let's go again. Right back in there. I don't think we need to sideboard at all.
And I agree with one of the comments in the chat here. Keeping the land was right to keep up Frilled Mystic. That was an excellent call there, and I would agree with that as well.
Thanks. Okay, so we got Shimmer, Growth.
Ooh.
Oh, we have okay. So we have Shimmer and Growth Spiral, which could this is a little risky, but you guys think we take it?
I keep it.
Yeah, I'd keep it.
Yeah!
It's a spicy keep.
Yeah, we keep it. We're keeping it. Let's go. Let's go,
I mean, if you don't
gamers.
keep it, we get no lands next turn.
Oh, don't say that.
I like our opponent's username.
I didn't even notice that.
I'm gonna put the guild gate down. Dude, another gate! Another gate! He only costs 6 now!
X-Spotter's just like a kid in a candy store right now, and I
Open the
appreciate
gates!
that.
Open the gates!
He's only gonna cost 5! And guess what the 5th man is gonna be? It's gonna be this gate!
Wow, X-Water.
Let's go ahead
I
and
appreciate this.
Shimmer as well. I get really excited when things go our way. Okay, we got Frilled Mystic? Frilled Mystic, maybe?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd go with the Frilled Mystic. It's really
Yeah, if we get
powerful.
Gate Colossus down and like safe for a couple turns, we can just hang on to Frilled Mystic in our hand to keep him protected. And we got Titanic Brawl to like use Gate Colossus to be a mean, lean killing machine.
Yeah, that's no big deal. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm not stressing about Blood Mist. I'll put down the Simic Guild Gate for now because we need it for. Actually, if I put down the. Yeah, either way, it doesn't really matter. We could put down the Simic Guild Gate, use Arrester's Admonition to slow him down. He would have this back in his hand, and we draw a card. I think worth.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Worth. Yeah, that's a great move, X-Spotter.
And then makes Gate Colossus a little bit less.
Oh my god! These draws.
Again, to specify to the crowd, he did that on his main phase, so to use the special ability where you can draw a card. So that's why he didn't wait till their turn.
Okay, so we can play our Gate Colossus, and we will. I love that little robot noise he makes when he comes out.
You slam that thing down and you tell them to deal with it.
And dealt with. It's still an 8/8 blocker, so I'm not too heartbroken about it.
We'll have the Sphinx and the Spider as well.
Yeah, we could play the Spider.
Probably go Spider.
Yeah, we can play the
Yeah.
Spider, protect from reach, and we have Titanic Brawl if he attacks with... Well, if he attacks with the Blood Mist, he could sacrifice in response and all that. Well, I guess he has to do it right on the attack trigger, so... I just like having that reachy block.
You could also Titanic Growth the Blood Mist if you're that worried about it before it attacks. It's up to you, though.
Yeah, I think we'll let him go because we have the Gate Colossus on the ground. Even if he goes through with the Blood Mist, he loses his Syndicate Messenger. He gets a 1/1 flyer token. For 3 mana. That's fine with me, honestly. I think we're still in a pretty advantageous position,
I'd say so.
especially if we
We have decent
throw
hands,
down this
yeah.
Sphinx Foresight next turn. Then we're scrying every turn as long as they don't have a way to deal with it. Good thing they use that now. All right, we're probably taking 2 in the air here, but that's nothing too serious. Two attackers. Yeah, I'll take it. I don't want to use our Titanic Brawl on the flyer just because it's got Afterlife as well. We're going to have flying blockers, all that stuff.
Play Spider again, and then next turn you can play Sphinx and for Mystic.
That's actually a good point, yeah. I was going to play the Sphinx now since he blocks flying either way, but being able to play the Sphinx next turn and have enough for Filled Mystic in the background is a good feeling. Good play.
You still leave growth out this turn as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. 2 damage to each opponent. You gain 3 life. I'll probably Titanic Brawl this before the end of the turn, because this guy's 3 in the air is annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't sack his flyer there to get 3 indirect. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, me too, actually. He may have Defender. That's not gonna stop it. Okay, I don't know what happened there. It was like a weird
That was a nice little
limped
graphic.
animation. I was like, did I misread something?
No, you did. You're good.
I was so nervous.
Yeah, we're gonna let the Sphinx do the work here from this point on.
Yeah. You'll sit back, Spidey. Well, I guess Spidey could attack if it really wanted to.
They could stack block and kill it if they really wanted to.
It's
but
a very
that
good
doesn't-
point. I don't see them doing it, but
Yeah.
we'll keep Spidey, you know, defending the clean streets of New York. Play a big spell so I can counter it. Counter
That's a
it?
decent one.
I think that's worth
how many
countering.
cards left in hand? 3?
You got 3, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. We're trying to be more aggressive here.
Yeah, we got a Scry coming every turn, too. I don't want to lose another 3 life, and it's a flyer we got to deal with. All right. Eel's not a... That's a 2 adapt on him, too. We can definitely do that right now, considering our situation. We got a 5.
Yeah.
On.
It's
I'd
gonna
like
be a
that
lot.
better than potential land. Or
Yes,
something.
Yes.
I agree. I'll
I
hold
think
it in
we
our
start
hand for
going-
combat.
Do we start going on the offensive with the Sphinx here? I
Oh,
want to
for
say
sure,
yes.
for sure. Even the spider, I'm gonna get.
I'd say
Yeah,
everybody.
You think everybody, even the Frilled Mystic? Actually, yeah, the Frilled Mystic already did his
Yeah.
job. They don't need to do nothing else.
We have the eel coming in.
That's true.
That's actually not terrible for us right now.
That's
A
not
little bit
good.
more.
Well, that's not great.
Yeah.
But... we still have the spider.
Yeah,
so
we
we're
still
gonna
got
be in
Spidey.
a little bit of a...
I'm
yeah.
sad that we're losing the
Scry.
Scry, though. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
I'm surprised they did that.
I knew there had to be some other.
I'm not.
Spidey can still defend, though.
I'm gonna keep this in hand just to bluff.
Maybe with the eel. Why not? Can't defend.
Yeah.
I would put stops on all of the faces just so it looks like you have a card.
That's a good point. All right, you can go ahead and draw, buddy. All right, you can go to main, buddy. It's cool.
There's that Chillbringer.
Oh.
Ooh, taking away our reach.
I'm gonna take these stops off. I mean, it's Nito.
Better than not telling anything, I guess.
We have enough
How much
mana
can
to
you
do it
pump him?
twice. What was that?
How much can you pump him?
I can pump twice right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can pump. We can pump twice. I mean, we might as well, right?
Maybe he blocks. Nah.
If he
Did I-
blocks, then
I'm gonna
you get,
pump. Yeah, I don't have to do it during main phase or anything. I can respond with it. So
Did anyone realize, A, the name of the person we're playing with, and B, the fact that we're mythic and we're only a silver rank going against them?
yeah, pretty
Draft was-
garbaggio.
Whoever.
Like, dang.
I think the main problem was we ran out the game loss. We should have played out like the other threats first.
Yeah.
Let them
Yeah.
use the removal on that.
That's a good point. If we would have baited out their bad stuff before Gate Colossus came down, we would have been a lot safer there.
Right. Exactly.
All right, well, we got the 1-1. Let's make it. Let's get it. Living the dream. All right, we got a nice, fair matchup here. Regular old bronze this time, so. We
So
got.
you're saying there's a chance.
Yes,
We-
read the Sphinx's other ability.
Oh, yeah,
X-Water.
Scry 3
Really
when we
good.
keep him in our beginning. Yeah! That's what I'm saying.
I knew he'd get excited about that.
Let me reveal it. All right, so we got open the gate. We got Titanic Brawl, open the gates. You think? What do you guys think? Our hand has 3 lands: Arrestor's Admonition, Simic Locket, Sphinx of the Foresight. So
I don't think we need the brawl. I say we have open the gates, so then we can just play Forest Open the Gates as our turn 1, and then we don't have to worry about the other land at that point.
that's fair.
Unless Eldad, do you see anything else? Or
Well, as soon as we play open the gates, we shuffle. So we can draw the we can draw the open the gates, shuffle, and then whatever. Because having 2 gates is nice because we have the Simic Locket, and then we'll have a 6-mana Gate Colossus who we can play not right away this time. Sphinx will probably want to get out as fast as possible, right?
yeah, I would
Yeah.
say so.
So let's go ahead and take open the gates. I like that play.
You guys don't want Titanic Brawl? Oh, too late now.
All right, then I am going to go ahead and play our Simic Guild Gate.
Then we got the Locket the 3rd turn as well, unless we need to slow them down for some reason.
Hello. Ooh, we got the Gateway Plaza as well. All right. Oh man, that's so good in limited.
Our plays are
Yeah.
good too. Just stick with the plan. You could either drop Sphinx right now.
I think Sphinx
Yeah,
is Sphinx is our call.
Yeah, go for it.
They already know we have
Yeah.
it. We
Right,
have to
that
reveal
too.
it.
And seeing the
So-
Gruul, they don't have a creature to fight with just yet.
You also have the Drake as well.
Yeah.
That you can use to stack with that. That's a tricky call.
Yeah, it is a tricky call. I want to play the Drake right now so we can attack with it, but I want to. We don't need to rush the Gateway Plaza. I don't know. What do you think, LinkedEd?
What are we doing?
We're choosing whether to bottom or top a island right now in this situation.
We have enough to play the Windstorm Drake regardless, but then we can't play our Gateway Plaza if we don't have a land. That being said, we might need some other forms of steam.
Well, you said we played the Colossus too early last time.
I keep the island.
I'm
I
kinda-
agree.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't. I don't want to play the Gateway Colossus right now, but we'll keep the island.
Well,
Play it.
if you keep the island and you play Colossus, you can get him. You can Gateway Plaza.
That's right. If the
back.
Colossus dies, we can get him back. But
Oh,
I
you're
wanted
not
to.
gonna play-
No, I wanted to get the damage on the Sphinx. Let's go for a 5 to the face.
And remember, life is a resource. Don't be afraid to take some damage. And that's to anybody
yeah.
out there. You don't lose magic until you lose your last point. Life is always a resource in this game.
Last hit point's the only one that matters.
I wouldn't play Gateway Plaza.
No, I'm not. I'm probably not. Ooh, I might, considering we have Simic Guildgate now. Actually, I'm just gonna bottom this. We don't need it.
Yeah.
All right, Steeple Creeper. We give him flying. He gets +1/+0 from this guy. Hell yeah. Heck yeah. I should have done that after on main phase 2, but that's fine. It doesn't actually change too much for us. Let's go wide.
Keeping that bounce spell open is a really good idea. Oh, like now!
I'll wait till he targets, yeah. Or should I just bounce his creature now? Yeah, if I bounce his creature, he has to play it
Bounce
again.
once.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
bounce in response.
I love those big
Oh, that
crunches.
Yeah, we got
That was
this.
a nice play.
Listen to that big crunch. And we can just make Steeple Creeper fly next turn when he plays it back down. If he does. Let's go. Yeah! Knew it was coming.
2 and 1.
Go team.
Yo, easy.
That was a fast one. Way to go. Oh, we got our rewards.
Now I want to see what's in that pack.
I'll reveal when we're all the way through. It's going to be a foil mythic.
Yo, that would be fantastic. Wow, that's a lot of mana. And
It's a lot of mana, and we go first. And we have Shimmer of Possibility, which is kind of nice.
yeah, that's true.
Open the Gates is whatever, but yeah, I don't know. I think we'll
I
keep
would
it.
keep it.
Too much mana and a few options is better than 6 cards and no options.
Or 7 cards and no mana, as I got in like the first matchup.
Give me the Guild Gate.
That is a lot of lands right now.
That's right. Just believe in the
Part of the
believe in the
cards.
top of the deck.
It's fine. We'll take a
Part
good
of the
option out of the
cards.
top now.
Oh,
Wow! Are you kidding?
You mean like that top of the deck, Link Dead? Did
Wow!
I just wow.
My grandpa's deck
hear-
has no bad cards, but my lordy.
I have.
I mean, if
I
you look
hear
on the
you
bright
like
side,
lands.
there's only 6 more if we don't shuffle. So
Yeah, at least we
think
know
of,
those
like, lands
4
with the
aren't on the
land.
top of our library anymore. Wow,
Oh.
that was nasty. All right,
Okay.
look, we get a scry
Scry's good.
too.
fine. We're gonna be fine.
We're gonna be fine.
Never shuffle the deck again.
Okay,
Oh my
I don't.
gosh, there's a land.
I don't want the land. We'll take the beast because we can play him.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can go Beast and then Drake here, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That card looks like the new genie from Aladdin.
Ah, that's hot.
Oh my god!
You know, to keep it topical, you know?
All right, Aeromunculus. He's flying with an adapt. I'm not too spooked by that. Zoopity bop. I'm not gonna attack.
I am very surprised we didn't run into a single Aeromunculus when we were playing.
Well, that's just impolite.
How?
How dare?
I'd say we dropped the
Windstorm
Drake.
Drake next turn?
Yeah.
we were
Absolutely.
both thinking the same thing.
Hey, I give you credit. You thought of it first. Just saying.
Yeah, let's drop a land in the Drake, and then we can do... I just don't like that he has the adapt when he attacks us, so we can't risk blocking with it.
That's
But
fine. You play the
That's
Drake,
fine.
and the next turn you can play Axe Queen in Territory War.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
the worst. If we
Yep.
draw our, 14th land.
I'll go ahead and do some damage.
Might as well.
I mean, if he's trying to adapt his guy here, he's in a bad spot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Still got a lot of cards in his hand.
Yeah, all 7.
Uh-huh.
Looks like they don't have any land, though, because that Simic Guildgate they played, I think they top-decked. And this turn, I don't think they got anything, so...
I want the
I'm not going to
space.
block this. 3 damage at top. I'm not worried about that.
They do have something in their hand because it keeps pausing.
Yeah.
Ooh, Fairy Duelist. I
Ooh,
love
that'll
that
be
card.
useful for... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put down... Okay, so... Okay. What I want to do with the Fairy... Actually, no. It's only -2, -0. So even if we do use Fairy Duelist on Aeromunculus when he adapts, we won't be able to kill it. So I'm not too worried about it. So...
I'd probably play around Counterspell here.
Why couldn't we kill it? what does it turn into? A 3/4?
Attack
Yeah.
in one. Yeah.
You can double block with Fairy Duelist and the Drake, and the Drake
that's
pumps
true.
the Fairy Duelist as a flyer.
Yep.
I think you get aggressive.
Just
Get
swing
aggressive. You can fairy duelist if he flashes something in.
It's fair.
All right.
I can save 2 mana. I can play Axebane and
You don't
still
need to
save
play
2
any
mana.
mana.
I'll go to combat. Next. Swing to the face.
And just
He's
remember,
gotta have
he's got
something.
something.
Yeah, it's asking him. Hey, you want to do anything?
He might also have a flash.
Yeah, it's very true.
As well.
We're about to find out. Hey.
Gonna pick the Drake.
So you could flash like after he blocks.
Yeah, but that won't do anything.
Well, that card looks familiar.
Oh, that's true. My bad. I thought he was gonna block the other guy.
Did we play a land this turn?
Yes, I believe so. Maybe not. We'll find out.
I don't think we did.
We didn't. We can play boar or something.
Oh, it's gonna give it +2. No, okay. That now, once that,
Yeah.
yeah. So we let
Play
it
it.
resolve and then
Play
we
now.
play it.
No,
Yeah.
no. Wait.
You play it now.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna like give me a chance to play it after it resolves, because I don't know if it's -1 then up to regular 1. We're good. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Let's put down. I'm gonna put down the boar and the guild gate because I want the boar to get buffed by the Axebane. So he'll get vigilance too.
Still got like 5 cards in his hand.
Yeah.
I don't think a boar gets buffed by Axebane.
Oh poop! You're right. I saw 4 and I thought CMC for whatever reason.
That's okay.
All right. Obviously doesn't want to do anything that isn't adapting that creature. Are we going to see a wide swing? No. Okay. Another land. Really love all this land we're seeing. I'm probably not going to attack here, I think. I think I will just play this guild gate. And go to combat. And not attack. And play this Axebane Beastie Boy.
You could attack with the Axebane next turn, and if he double blocks, at least you'll be able to kill off something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have to worry about your flyers getting knocked out.
So
Or you
many,
can play more flyers.
so many birds.
Kind of wonder if his deck is built around flight.
Well, this is neato to have. It would have been neato to have to counter the bird. I guess we just
You
sit
just wait.
here. Yeah. Yeah.
Just gotta wait, I guess, until
I
we
guess
get the
I
right
could
card.
attack with the Axebane. He could trade with the Aeromunculus and Syndicate together. We would kill the Syndicate. The token would come out, but then it's not a 2/3 in the air anymore, which is
He would
kind of
just
nice.
trade this fairy duelist.
Yeah.
Said he would double block with the fairy duelist, and then that'd be a bad trade.
Fair. I hope we get our Simic 1/1 counter enchantment soon.
Yeah, we just need to hold out. Frilled Mystic. If anything game changing, if anything he plays is game changing, he just Mystic it. Otherwise, I would just hold out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to drop the Mystic unless it's something that's a big scare.
Like Gate Colossus.
Like Gate Colossus. I hope we get Gate Colossus. He's only going to cost 5 mana right now. Pass to attackers.
He is up to something.
He's thinking. Okay. Let's go ahead and probably not worth double blocking. We'll lose.
It probably is.
Yeah,
Wait,
because
wait,
we
wait,
could
wait.
counter something that they might throw out.
Yeah, you're right. And they'll only take one of our flyers out either way here.
We're about in the same situation.
Yeah. Play a spell. Do it. I dare you.
Play an angel so we can counter it.
The only bad thing here is he takes out the Drake, and then we're defenseless against their bird.
Yep.
I mean, we're defenseless against the 3/4 right now. I'd rather be defenseless against the 2/3.
Also relevant.
Yeah, I'm overall kind of okay. I'm stopping that.
Yep.
Without a question, please get rid of that thing.
See you later, Sphinxy boy. Counter target spell. I always got to make sure I like read it every time and don't just auto. Oh my lord! Okay.
Well, would you look at that?
Well, this is a nice spell.
And they used all their mana, so they can't counter it or anything.
Maybe go with the Frilled and the Axebane here? You have two really nice 3 powers here.
Yeah. The boar, yeah, those two. I think those two are the choices because
Yep.
Yeah,
whatever
right
they
there.
do.
We might lose the Mystic, but that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Mystic has done their duty.
Yeah. Mystic did their job. And then next turn, I'm trying to think of what. If we sacrifice the boar, we get to go for a 3-drop in our deck. If we
3-drop is only Steeple Creep.
Steeple
yeah,
Creeper.
that's our only 3-drop. What 5-drops do we have? We have a couple of good ones. I'm pretty sure. Spider.
What else? I can't remember.
Yeah, I know we have two. Oh, the Drake that we just lost was one of them.
Spider seems good. The Sphinx. Isn't the Sphinx 4?
The Sphinx. I thought we lost. Oh, the Sphinx is 4. Yes. So if we get the Steeple Creeper and then we get the Sphinx after, that'd be really awesome. So we can work towards that.
Is it up to or can
No,
I
it
read
has to be
Vanfire's text?
equal to 1
That.
plus sacrificed creature. Yeah. So we have Steeple Creeper
Okay.
in the deck still, I believe. Yeah, that's our only 3-drop creature. So I can get rid of the Sage's Rose Savant. And then we probably don't want to attack this turn just because the 3/6 is on board. We'll get our Spider out as soon as we can. We'll get our Sphinx out as soon as we can. And then we're feeling a little better about all that. And hopefully we just draw into Gate Colossus soon. Alright, give me Steeple Creeper. No attacks.
That poor boar just never gets to use its ability
I
properly.
know, right? He's doing his darn best. I really hate these flyers right now. It's not great. That's fine. Oh, wow. Okay, I guess, yeah, end of combat. Our turn. Part of me wants to attack with Steeple Creeper before we do our dirty business with him and sacrifice him. If we do,
They'll double block.
they can double block. We'll get rid of all their flyers in that situation, which is pretty sick, but at the same time, not that sick.
We don't get the Sphinx then, and we need the Sphinx to scry to get our stuff quicker. No.
You're
Yeah,
not wrong. Yeah.
Sphinx.
I'm sorry, Steeple Creeper.
Unfortunately.
Time is
love
kind of the
you.
essence here with Vanifire.
You guys sure you don't want Skittering Eel?
No, I want the Sphinx. That boar again. This poor or territorial boar.
Yeah,
You
so
can
we
turn
want,
that into a
like,
children's
Simic
book.
Ascendancy here would be really nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would be awesome.
Or Gate Colossus, or... Jeez. All these flying boys.
You better hope they don't run high alert in their deck, otherwise we're in big trouble.
What High Alert do?
High alert?
Oh,
Their
it's
defense
the-
becomes their attack.
Ooh.
Yeah. High alert is scary right now.
I'm calling
Yeah,
it
we-
right now. Simic Ascendancy off the top 2 cards.
Let's
We
go.
might want to think about the spider as well soon.
Yeah, we can sacrifice the Axebane to get it, so... I'm surprised they're
here's-
not using their Prime Speaker yet, or at
Are
all.
we gonna go aggressive with the Sphinx, by the way? I mean, there's reasons to, and oh, that's actually decent.
Yeah, that is decent. We can save that for when they adapt their Sora form, dude. I think it's worth taking,
It draws
honestly.
a card.
It draws a
Yeah.
card.
We could get rid of the token.
We
as
could get rid
well.
of the token. I don't hate that idea. Especially because it draws us a card.
And they could use Vanifier to adapt it and put a 1-drop out, no?
Mm-hmm. So we can get rid of the token permanently. We can bring one of these back to their hand. I don't think we want to do the giant because they'll get another token. We don't want to do the duelist. This guy is potentially worth it just because we can get rid of his 4
Potentially.
counters.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Do you guys want to hold on to this for now then? Or do we get
I mean, we
aggressive
don't-
with it?
We don't draw the cards off of it, at least, but we do slow them down a lot. They miss a whole turn off of adapting that.
I mean, you just attack with the Sphinx, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to attack with the
yeah,
Sphinx.
that's true.
Go Sphinx, and we'll use it as an oh heck button if the Sphinx is in trouble.
I like that idea.
Don't stop my Sphinx. Sick, we got some damage through. Let's save this. If the Sora form hybrid gets big, we can block with the boar or something and yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I should have used Prime Speaker to get the spider though. I didn't think about that.
I would definitely consider doing that next turn.
Mm-hmm. Kept both on the top, eh? Interesting. Interesting. 2 attackers. Surprised this Watchful Giant hasn't swung at us at all.
I think he's scared that we'll double block it.
I would
Or
double block
something.
that if he attacked with that, that's for sure.
We got them scared. They're scared.
Shaking in the little space booties. Okay, there it is. Looks like your scry doesn't matter, bud.
What they sacrifice?
The dude that scried. So they're getting a 3-drop.
Okay. Redraw.
Oh, resolve. My bad. I didn't notice. I hope with 20 cards left in the deck, I hope they just have no 3-drops left and didn't realize it.
Hey, there's a possibility.
Ah, man. War birds.
Courier.
All right, our turn. What do we got? It's a land.
Simic Ascendancy. It's going to the bottom.
Come on!
You still have the option to bounce that token if you want to, and still be able to swing with Sphinx and then get the spider out. But that's up to you. That's a really greedy move, considering that they're gonna have a 6/6 on their end at some point.
Yeah. I'm just gonna get this down. I'm gonna pay a red mana for it. Because I can. Let's go to combat. Use the Sphinx to fight. Probably gonna. We could get quadruple blocked here, in which case we could return the token. In that case, it would stink because. Or we could return the Pegasus because I guess it doesn't matter what we return, but something. I think it's a call though.
That's rough. There's a lot of pros and cons.
I think I might wait, or maybe use main phase. One of the two.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth using Arrester's ad on a token.
Yeah, well, if we get quadruple blocked, I have no choice. But I'm gonna go for the fight, or I'm gonna go for the swing.
Oh, you're going for it, okay. Hey, you do you.
I gotta keep it moving. I'm the pilot today. And there it is. We lose the card draw, but that's fine. We want to kill probably the Senate dude.
We lose the card draw, but we don't lose the scry. You have to think about it that way.
Yeah. All right, so like that, and then this. And we still did clear 2 creatures from the board.
I feel like they have something.
Oh no! Oopsies. Well, I think this game is looking pretty rough now, unless we get that Gate Colossi.
The Colossus would be good.
Let's see what else we have in our. We have our. Okay, so we got Gruul Beastmaster in there. We've got not a whole lot that's gonna win us this game. Terramander's good. Gate Colossus is good. It's gonna be a bit of a standstill. Dang.
You had no way of knowing. Nobody had any way of knowing. I mean, it's uncommon.
Yeah, we had to be brave. All right, that 2/2 is gonna get buffed.
It was a pretty risky play.
Yeah, it was a risky play. We're about to take massive damage.
Honestly, you can also play Magic in such a way where being too conservative will lose you a lot of matches as well. I mean, it was a perfectly fine move, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I'm overall fine with it. Sometimes it just happens, you know. All right, I'm not gonna block the Prime Speaker because I won't kill it. I think I'll block this. If I block the token, we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're taking 12 this way. We're keeping a board. Whatever. Too much math.
Yeah, but they have all their mana.
Ooh! Didn't see that one coming either. Alright, well, either one of these that we sack will get us nothing, so I'm not going to sacrifice a creature. We could swing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and feel good about ending the game with them at 4 health. So that's what we're doing. I don't think there's any way we could win this with this guy having a 6/6, so.
It was just unfortunate that our best creature just didn't want to show up.
Yeah, we did get land flooded really hard. What is that? We got 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus the Scry brought in like an extra 3. We saw almost every one of our lands.
Yeah, look at how many lands they have too.
I know, right? What is this? Just end me.
He's thinking.
What's there to think about? I got nothing.
Wait, what?
Wow.
He's giving us a chance.
Oh, look at that. We got a guild gate.
Maybe he found us on front page and wants to have his name be like an ad.
No, just swing with everybody. Maybe he doesn't block.
That would be hilarious.
We're on front page anymore. It's past the 2-hour mark.
That's true. He could look on the main magic category, though. It's like one of the top magic streams right now.
That is true.
Wow, didn't even swing that way.
I want to see how far into the negative health we can get right here.
Maybe they're trying to do their dailies.
Ah, yeah.
And it's it's put so many creatures out. So extending the. I don't know. He knows he's won probably at this point. So
just put some stops just to make sure.
that empty pen looks really threatening.
All right, we made it all the way to -11, which was my personal goal for the day. So at least we hit it.
Yay!
Did you get the -11 life daily?
Yeah. Unlocking mad packs.
Yo, 2 packs now.
2 packs. All right, we still got some life left in us. Oh, part of me wants to like throw in this tower defense at this point after all the flyers, but it's just a couple of unlucky games.
It is plausible to take out one land and put in the counter spell, but that's being really risky.
Yeah, we did get pretty land flooded, but that also could have just been luck. I do like counter spells.
We could have ran into Simic Ascendancy at any point, and with all that land,
yeah,
would have been amazing.
We'll throw in one counter spell just for what's its sake, and we'll take out one land to be a bold mamma jamma. You gotta risk it for the biscuit, am I right, team?
Oh, I love biscuits.
Yo, me too.
Biscuits.
All right, we got 3 land, a shimmer, and a locket. I don't hate it.
It's a good keep.
We have possibilities. Literally. Because Shimmer is possibilities.
All right. Forest, Shimmer. Frilled Mystic?
Is that even a question? That board did nothing for us last match.
The only problem is we can't get it out for a long time.
Yeah. At least we can open the gates right now, though, which is kind of neato.
Yes. That's a good play.
Let's go ahead and get a Simic build gate. Ooh, that's a good card. I just ordered one of those for Paper Magic, actually. I'll put down the... What do you guys think? Do I put down the Sage's Row for the Scry or the Axebane for block?
Are we in that much of dire straits right now? Where we need the Scry?
No, but I think it's... We're also not in dire straits that we need to protect against 2 damage either.
That's fair. I like that mode of thought.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Scry.
It keeps up Titanic Brawl as well in case they try to pump it or something.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're not drawing 2 more land right now.
No.
Honestly, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of all this land right now.
Have you ever drawn so many lands in your life?
This is honestly, like, consistently right now, this is the most, like, land flooding I've seen in a draft in a while. I'm gonna let it happen.
Yeah.
I could block it, but then they got two flying tokens, and we'll deal with that when we get a way to deal with that. Ow! Ooey! Blade Juggler's so good.
You could trade with it if you're that concerned, but Axebane Beast can take care of it as well.
What do you think? Should we trade with it? It's not a terrible idea to get rid of. They got
it's hard to tell.
6.
Then no, because then you're 2 for 1-ing yourself.
All right. Let's put down the beast. Keep ourselves nice and safe. Guild Gate on the board just because. And if I attack, he blocks, he dies. Might as well go for it.
Yeah, why not?
Cool.
All right, so a thought I had, depending on how greedy you want to play, again, we have that bounce spell. We can bounce that back into their hand and then counter it with Frilled Mystic, but I don't think it's worth it. It's only 2.
Yeah, like bouncing the Sage's Roast Savant isn't even that bad of an idea too, because we get the extra scries off it. What do you think? Do we block this? That seems bold.
He's also got 4.
Yeah, he
mana
definitely
open.
has a combat trick of some kind if he's doing this, because otherwise he would have swung with both of them.
I find it weird that he didn't swing with a Magic Strand, because he wants that afterlife. Probably wants that afterlife. Yeah, I'm gonna no block this.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
Oh, wowee. Okay, this
That's
is...
juicy.
Do we drop it and hope that we're not gonna get, like, garbaged? Because we don't have enough mana to protect it once we drop it.
They're playing white and black. There's final payment.
They got blue and
But-
green in there, too. And red, actually, now that I'm looking at it.
And they have, what, 5 in hand right now?
6.
6. I mean, if we drop the Colossus and they don't kill it next turn, we're golden.
Yeah, but if we
But-
drop it, it is real open to getting dumpstered.
We also have plenty of gates left in the deck, but...
Yeah, that's true. But
That's
I'm
true, yeah.
worried about it getting one of those enchantments on it that turn it into a defender all game.
Yeah, but then we just bounce it.
Oh, that's true. All right, he's going. Let's go, Gate Boy. I said
We
Gate.
gotta go fast here. We're Team Instant Speed. We gotta take some kind of chance here.
Fair enough. Yes, no? I don't know if we want to block the or trigger the Magistrate, so no.
They'll get 2 flyers.
We're not gonna do that. All
Number
right.
2, if
Please
we
no
get
whammy.
too
Please no
flooded-
whammy. Oh wow! Look at that.
I knew that was coming. I saw all
Alright.
the gates, and I'm like, oh.
So, if we get Simic Ascendancy here, their Colossus dies.
Yes. We
so
could.
Growth Spiral.
Yeah, we could grow spiral. Get a card. Ooh, Sphinx.
Now, here's the issue. We played the Sphinx. We don't have Frilled Mystic or our bounce spell open.
That's true. Let's not play the Sphinx yet.
Yet.
All right, let's just go to the next turn.
Soon,
Yeah.
TM.
Soon.
Yeah, there's a time to hold and a time to fold. That was not a time to go, so that was a good call.
All right, I'm not too worried about that.
Now, what you could do, if you want to be sneaky and take a chance, we bounce the Colossus at the end of this turn, and then we Frilled Mystic it the turn after, and then they don't have their Colossus, but that's a very risky
Yeah.
maneuver.
If we manage to get one more land, we could bounce it on our turn, get the draw, and then we could continue to like frilled it as well. So we could hold that play to take advantage of the
Get
card
a card.
draw.
Yeah, yeah. It's risky. It's risky. If they put one of those enchantments on, then we're
Yeah.
done. But it's worth a shot.
I
to
like
consider.
it. We got the boar for now. We can put the boar down. We still have enough to Mystic if they do something nasty. So we can still like keep putting things down at least. We're kind of sitting at a standstill right here for now. Next. Attacks. No attacks. End turn.
Yeah, this is a standoff right now for sure.
It's a classic
Come on.
old western. 2 attacks. Oh.
Combat trick.
Well, hang on. If we bounce it here, though, here's the issue.
He can
We
play
bounce
it.
it, they can just play it.
Yeah, no,
and then we
I'm-
don't have enough for.
I'm
for
not, no,
Frilled
definitely not
Mystic.
bounce it right now. I think block with Axebane.
Yeah. That way we're not giving up our play yet either.
Yeah.
They obviously have a reason for this. How many do they have left in hand here? I hate asking.
6.
this. 6?
They
That's a lot
got
of cards.
Chillbringer.
That's
That's going to tap down our gate for 2 turns.
Yeah, no.
And
Yeah,
it's a
no.
3/3 flyer. Yeah, that has to be countered.
I'm glad we did what we did.
Take the action.
Now, if you want to here, unless they have a combat trick for one, which I guess there's one green spell I can think of that does it, you could swing next turn. But
Yeah,
that's up to you.
I think I'll swing with the Gate Colossus. They
well,
could
hang
block
on, hang
with... No, actually, sorry, what?
We have the Fairy Duelist now.
Yeah.
So if they go to swing with their Colossus, we block with our Colossus, we drop the Duelist.
Yeah.
If things go really that bad, we drop the other spell and bounce it.
Ah, so we can drop our Fairy Duelist to block their Colossus and then kill theirs without ours dying. And then, yeah, and we have enough to cast it if we can play our Sphinx and still have enough to cast it.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just make sure I have
Well,
the
the
right...
only issue is we don't get the bounce spell done if that happens. We don't get the second back door, so to speak.
Yeah, but I think I'm okay with the risk.
Okay. I mean, we could draw a gate, and we could get our Colossus back if the worst happens. So
Especially with the
certainly.
Scry, we have some good potential.
That's a good
Remember, we
point.
do need an island.
We have the Simic Locket.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, we have the locket. The locket's good. And they might not see that either, so that's a very good point. Don't swing with anything. We still... They have a 4/4 on the field,
Yeah.
which is really annoying.
Gets +1/+2 and has Vigilance. If it was cast during your main phase, it gets Lifelink until the end of turn. Yikes. Okay.
Well, we do have the bounce spell.
The bounce spell we can't use. We have 2 mana. Well, we can bounce that enchantment. We can bounce the Gate Colossus and the enchantment will go away. But right now we can only Fairy Duelist and block and they'll still get the 7 life out of that. And we won't get the kill. We can also
Yeah,
block
we
with the
might
Frilled
just jump.
Mystic. I think I'll
Yeah,
just Frilled
jumping.
Mystic block that.
Jumping's the best option here. They gain 9 life, though, off of this.
It's really not ideal, but we do have a Gate Colossus and a Sphinx who's hopefully going to be dinging for a turn. We just really got to be able to deal with that Sentinel's Mark soon. Or find some way to deal with any of this. Hopefully the Sphinx gives us an answer. 3 damage to target opponent. That player discards 2 cards. Wow, that's not good.
Can we play something at least?
We could play the Fairy Duelist or the Titanic Brawl. If we brawl right now, we kill the Gate Colossus, and we have 3 gates on the field, 3 left in the deck with Scry on. I think we do it.
Or we just bounce, but it's up to you. We could
can't
bounce
bounce.
and draw a card.
We can't bounce.
No, not this turn.
We're going to have
we
to
could-
discard.
We could discard the Brawl and the Duelist, keep the bounce, draw a card.
We could do that. They're going to gain 9 more life if we fight, too. And that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
just,
resolve it. Discard the Fairy, discard the Titanic Brawl.
It's a bad situation any way you look at it, but this is fine.
Steeple Creeper's not a
Steeple Creeper's
terrible
not
get.
bad.
He blocks the gateway at least. But, I don't know.
It's either that or we probably draw land.
Let's take, yeah, whatever. Let's take the Steeple.
I think it's a valid argument.
It's 4 in the air in future turns as well. We could play the Steeple now. We could bring the Gate Guardian, the Gate Colossus back to its hands, swing with Gate, Sphinx.
Hey, Guardian.
Yeah.
Your inner Yu-Gi-Oh is coming out, bud. Yeah. So hang on. Wait,
I've already done it. I've already done it.
You could have waited till their turn, but they could have countered it as well.
Well,
And
I
he
wanted
looks
to,
fighter.
yeah, I wanted to do it now so we could swing with our Gate and force them to do some stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. I saw the other strategy for a second, but I like how you took initiative there. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know with piloting it, you know, we got to have one person who's just like, we're all going to have different opinions on the right play, and sometimes it's just like, you just got to go.
I like it.
Now we got 2 flyers in the air that are going to be able to put down 8 a turn if they go uncontested, which is really nice. Flyers in the air, he says.
I still think we're fairly okay here, as silly as that may seem.
Yeah, I like that Sentinel's mark isn't on the Gate Colossus if it comes back. Oh, interesting that they played the Gate now. It's going to make it cheaper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep 2 mana open, but at the same time, it's like... Oh, their own Mammoth Spider. Interesting.
I didn't see that one coming.
Same. This will give him flyers.
Yeah, and as well as the fact that he will use them to double block your Sphinx.
Yeah. We still got Scries coming in. No need for that island. I hope. Aha! Very nice. That is a draw. We got any 5-drops here we can sack? Okay, choose attackers. Well, obviously the Gate is a worthy attacker. They could block with everything, but we have Scries and we have Simic Locket to re-get it back eventually. And if they block, we can kill the Reach and we can kill the...
Well, that's if they block.
Yeah.
I
Go
think
for it.
I think this is the call. They have 1 green mana open, and that's not enough to do anything, right? The Mammoth Spider can block us,
It is. It's enough to live. Like they're like he'll have something that's like a 0 something.
So we're not losing the Sphinx if I attack with it right now. More than likely.
More than likely, unless they have something.
Because yeah,
They could.
Growth
They could have the. Yeah.
Growth doesn't
Well-
work on for 1 mana unless it has a counter, which it doesn't. I can't think of any other green spells or red spells that buff it by 1.
There is one green spell out there that I believe gives something a +1/+1 counter and untaps it. That's the only thing I can think of.
We're gonna give it a shot.
There's also Spark. Sorry, not Spark.
All right, it worked out. We killed a creature. We got our boy still alive.
I don't think Shock's in this one, or if there is one, it costs 2 mana, I think, in this set.
Yeah, there's like the 2 mana, 2 damage. It kills when it exiles. Oh, that's not good. That's not huge, but it's also not good.
I'm trying to get that flyer again.
We really have the best, things we can have on our field right now, so that's fine.
Whenever target creature you control, or whenever Beastmaster attacks, target creature you control gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the Beastmaster's power. Do we play the Beastmaster, give it haste, and buff our Gate Colossus? We'll have to trade in that case, though, because it won't give it +X/+X. It's X/O. We could play the Mammoth Spider and be nice and safe.
That's up to you. We have enough guild gates left. I think we have at least 3 guild gates left, plus we have to draw off the locket. Sphinx also just keeps getting in, but I don't know, the Beastmaster's an interesting play.
I like the idea of the Mammoth Spider just so we could get rid of this Ministrant and feel safe, but it's also not going to speed us up in any way. I'm going to go with the Spider for now, just because the timer's ticking. And I don't... Well, they're tapped out. I guess it doesn't matter, though, because they still have the block, so no attacks.
I know that that you're trying to show us that like what does what or whatnot, but every time you highlight something, they can see it too. So when you're like back and forth between the cards.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. So are they just attacking with the Ministrant? I think the Ministrant is worth blocking at this point because we have the Reach now.
Yeah, I agree. But he's got a lot of mana.
Yeah, maybe it's worth with the
Reach.
Sage's Roast Savant since we're not going to use him anyway.
I kind of agree. And the worst that could happen is he gets buffed.
That had to happen at some point. We're running low on life.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't love it, but it is what it is. Ooh. Each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has Trample. All right, we got our Gate. That lets us be risky with the Gate Colossus. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's take it.
One of the few times I'll approve of a late game land draw.
All right, so Gruul Beastmaster into haste, into Gate Colossus attack. He could block with the Troll Bred Guardian and the Enraged Ceratok. I mean, we could kill both of them and that'd be sick. But yeah.
And then we could replay Gate Colossus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Next turn.
Let's give it haste. Let's go to combat. And let's attack with you two. Interesting. Alright, so they got the adapt on the Troll Bred Guardian coming in. They'll have 7/7 Trampler ready to fight.
Yeah, he's probably going to adapt it right now.
Yeah, so I can block with the board to just mitigate some damage. The board isn't really doing anything for us anyway. We should probably keep the spider. The Steeple Creeper will block another 2 out of it, and that might actually be kind of worth it. It'll take it down to 3 damage we take total, which in the grand scheme of things might help out, but it might be sacrificing a lot of creatures for an unjust cause. That's only 6 damage. It won't be enough to kill it. At that point, I could throw the spider in as well, but then they get to choose how to assign damage.
Yeah, no, I'd rather just give the boar and see what he does.
I agree.
This is a very complicated board state.
That timer is so stressful.
Like, we'll get the Gate Colossus. We'll have an 8/8.
Yeah, we'll have the blocker for that situation next turn. Oh boy, they're getting their Gate Colossus back as well.
Yep.
But they have to at least put it on the top of their library and draw it next turn as well, so we have a little bit of time. Can you imagine I scry the Gate Colossus to the bottom? Oh, the Chillbringer? Oh. I think we lose this at this point.
In trouble, yep.
You hate to see that happen.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything we can do about the Chillbringer. We're gonna get shut down. And then
You know,
7 Trample will just be able to probably do enough to us if they attack with everything.
the matches we drew Simic Ascendancy, we won.
Yeah, that card has been, like, super elusive.
I know, we've gotten past 20 cards in both games too, or in all, like, pretty much all of our games. Like, they've gone on for, like, late games. There it is. I don't think there's any way we can block this to not lose, right? I could block the spider on this. I could block... I could block the steeple on that, and like that. And that way we only take 4 damage. Yeah. An unfortunate ending, but... sometimes that's just how the news goes.
A lot of land draws, which is odd considering all the draw we had in Scry.
We even took one out in that last game too. Let's go ahead and see what we pulled in these packs, though. Everyone loves the pack opening mini game. Part of the cards.
Gatebreaker Ram.
Oh look! Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I like that card.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about a mythic. That's beautiful. And I'm close to getting myself a mythic Mythic Wildcard. Okay, we got a Gruul Beastmaster in the pack. That's nice. And, ooh, Incubation Druid to kick off the pack. I like that too. It's a good couple of cards to get.
Yeah, Incubation Druid I had in one of my decks that I used quite frequently for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that card.
Adapting. I was experimenting with adapting. It's quite fun.
Yeah, Adapt's a really fun mechanic. I've seen a deck that like tried to go with the Simic enchantment thing we were using to try and build essentially the 20 counters on it to win and just go crazy like that. It was a really cool deck that used like Merfolk and like the one that puts counters on everything you have, but probably didn't win many games. All right, well, I think that concludes us for Wednesday Night Magic on Speed Gaming.
All right, I think we had some overall really good games, but yet again, the standard games were especially really good.
Yeah, I really enjoy that part of the competition, especially like just commentating and watching you and Linked and Sakura all go against each other. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of like on the rope moments, especially like because the decks are all constructed and like fine tuned, and you know it's a good time. I'm excited for the update tomorrow, too. That's going to bring best of 3 and the different formats to challenges as well.
Too.
That's going to be really exciting. But, yeah, really stoked. This has been really fun. Again, like always, you know, make sure you check out the Speed Gaming Discord for any updates on any tournaments going on, any events happening. There should be links in there to get and find the Team Instant Speed Discord if you're interested in playing Magic with people in there and meeting more speedrunners who also play Magic. Sakura, Sky, are there any plugs for Speed Gaming I'm forgetting?
Not specifically. Just, yeah, make sure, you know, all these fantastic people, we all play Magic. And so if there's anything that you want to learn or anything like that, yeah, make sure to join the Discord, the Magic Discord.
I would like to plug,
Discord.
since we are on Twitch and on Twitch front page. First of all, thanks to Twitch for the front page. Thanks to Gaming for hosting Instant Speed. And next Wednesday as well. Don't forget, much earlier on, I believe, I know I have to be up by noon or so for this, but the Twitch Rivals is next Wednesday. So, keep a close eye on that. I'm going to be competing in it. I'm really stoked for it. And then, of course, I believe we'll be back here next Wednesday night as well for Wednesday Night Magic.
All right. Way to go, team. All right. This has been Wednesday Night Magic with Team Instant Speed. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Take care.